Fields as women's basketball coach. She resigned today, effective June 30th, so she will finish the season, her third at the university. Fields is 36 years old, been around basketball a long time, but feeling it's simply time to move on in her life.
I've been in coaching for 12 years, and it's the only thing I have done all of my adult life. And I feel that I would like to do some other things with my life. I regret the decision now because of my players, but I don't regret making the decision. I'm sad, but I feel good.
During LaRue's tenure, she brought increased discipline, increased pride, increased competitiveness, and increased fitness level to our women on the basketball court.
The Gophers are coming off their first Big Ten of the season yesterday against Illinois, but looking ahead, 6 seniors will be moving on to other pastures, just like Fields.
Being our final season and everything, and now it'll be the final season for the coach, and just put that much more emotionalness into the season. And I think you're going to see us go out and play every game with fire in our eyes because it's the last time around.
I've enjoyed coaching. I have 14 beautiful young women on my program. I've seen and been associated with outstanding young people, but as they leave me, I just decided to leave a little early.
And a warm welcome to you from Williams Arena, where we take a nice break from high school hockey, and we'll talk basketball this afternoon as the Golden Gopher women host the Michigan Wolverines. I'm Paul Johnson. Laura Coonan will be along in just a few minutes with the color analysis as we begin our look at this afternoon's game, which will tip off somewhere around 2 o'clock. The Golden Gophers come in with a 3-14 Big Ten record and 8-19 overall. The Michigan Wolverines still with a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. They are 5th in the Big Ten at 10-7 and 18-9 on their overall record. This is the last game, of course, for LaRue Fields as the Gopher women's coach. It will be an emotional experience for her, I'm sure, and it's the last game for many of the Gopher seniors, and we'll talk about that as our coverage goes along this afternoon. And we'll talk with Angie Haltman about different things that are happening around the Gopher women's athletic department, along with Jenny Moe, one of the tennis players for the Gophers, when we come back. You're listening to Golden Gopher women's basketball right here on the original 1280 WWTC. From Williams Arena, it's the Gopher Women's Athletic Close-Up. It's going to be the Gophers and Michigan Wolverines this afternoon. Gopher Women's Basketball. Angie Haltman is here, and for the final time this season, Angie, how about an update on what's happening around the Women's Athletic Department?
Well, great day yesterday in track and field for Minnesota. Rachel Lewis, who's a junior for the Gophers, was out at the NCAA Indoor Championship meet in Indianapolis, and she finished 2nd in the nation in the shot put. She threw 50 feet, 11.5 inches, which is not her personal best, but it's one of her best this season. So she's an All-American again, having earned All-American honors in the discus last year. In diving yesterday, Lisa Davis qualified for the national meet. She was at the Zone C diving meet in Ann Arbor. She scored 452.9 points to qualify for nationals. Wendy Satterley and Julie Sullivan were also competing but did not qualify for nationals. In gymnastics, Minnesota was at the Shands Invitational in Gainesville, Florida. Gophers finished 4th out of 6 teams. LSU won the meet. Florida was 2nd, followed by Ohio State, and the Gophers were in 4th, and they beat out Wisconsin and George Washington U. Gymnastics team next will see action at the Big Ten Championships March 23rd and 24th.
Okay, and of course this is the last game for a number of the Gopher seniors here this afternoon.
Yeah, it is. Lea Bergin, Juanita Boehland, Sue Renner, Jodi, Olson, Jennifer Hall, and who are we missing? Jackie Goulet will all play their last games for Minnesota, so closing out their year.
All right, Angie, it's been fun to work with you. I hope we can do this again next year.
Yeah, I do too. Thanks, Paul.
All right, thank you very much. Angie Haltman. Jenny Moe is one of the stars of the Gopher women's tennis team, and I had a chance to catch up with her earlier and talk to her about her days with the women's tennis team.
Jenny, could you please just give us a short synopsis of what's happened with the team so far this season and what's ahead?
We've had some really tough competition against a lot of top 20 teams. We're just starting our Big Ten season. We had our first 2 Big Ten meets last weekend, and now it's all going to be Big Tens, and we've got 4 matches over spring break that are outside of Big Tens that are in the top 20. So basically we've had a really intense season with no easy outs, no easy matches, just to kind of breeze along. I don't even know our record. I'm not aware of it. I don't like to keep track.
What about your personal record? Is that something you keep track of?
I don't. The papers have, but I'm something like 18-6. I've had a very good season, very strong season. Successful so far, but I've got a long way to go too. The season's long.
Yeah. So Joni, you just approach each match as it comes then and not worry about what's happened in the past.
Yeah, last year I got too concerned about me winning too much and me having to keep a winning record and all. And this year I'm just going out, taking a match at a time, and just doing it that day and saying, this is the match, I'm going to go for it. And you know, I'm not going to walk off the court until I've put everything into it. So.
Okay, Jenny, tell us about your background, where you went to high school and grew up and so on.
I'm from Edina. I grew up there, and I attended Edina High School also for 3 years. Graduated in '88, and I'm a sophomore this year at the U.
And what's your major? Do you know yet?
Yeah, I'm right now I'm in journalism. I was kind of focusing on broadcast journalism, but that may be changing more to public relations.
Okay, have you had a chance to intern with any company so far, or is that in the future plans for you?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I want to try to get an intern this summer, the end of the summer, but I haven't contacted anyone yet, but that's something that is definitely on my plan.
Any tennis goals that lay out there that you haven't had a chance to achieve yet?
My goal this year is to at least make the NCAAs. I'd like to finish, I would like to be ranked maybe in the top 40 or 50. And I competed in the Rolex, and it was a tournament where the top 32 players played in it, and I broke the first round, so that should raise my ranking pretty high. But I still have to beat some of the bigger teams that we play over spring break, so that's a goal for me. I can't say what my goals will be for the next few years because it's going to depend on how much I continue to improve. I've improved a lot since last year, so my goals have changed, as the years progressed. So.
Okay, Jenny, well, we appreciate you spending some time with us, and we wish you the best of luck, not only your Gopher career, but afterwards as well.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Jenny Moe, member of the Gopher women's tennis team, and our pregame show will continue. It's the Gophers in Michigan this afternoon at Williams Arena, and we'll have more coming up after this. The Golden Gopher women coming off a big win on Thursday night as they beat Michigan State by a score of 66-65. Senior guard Jodi Olson hit a three-pointer with just 4 seconds showing on the clock to win that one. And that gives the Gophers a chance, if they win this game this afternoon, to at least equal their record of last year in the conference at 4-14. The team they're playing here this afternoon, Michigan, the last time the Gophers saw them was way back in the first game of the season. And that one the Gophers lost at Michigan. In the series, Minnesota leads 11-6. The team split last year with the Gophers winning here and Michigan winning at Chrysler Arena. As I mentioned before, this is the last effort of the season for Coach LaRue Fields. She is stepping down after this year, and earlier today I had a chance to talk with Coach LaRue Fields. Well, we'll talk to LaRue in just a couple of minutes if we have an opportunity to. But Laura Coonan, why don't you come in here now on our pregame show, and let's ask you about what you think about this Michigan team. And they have a chance still to go to the NCAAs. They're fifth in the Big Ten. They've won 18 games, and I would think a win here this afternoon would put them in a position for a possible bid.
It sure will. If not the NCAAs, it'll put them in the NITs. And they've won some big games here this year against Ohio State and Northwestern. And they're looking to win this game. They need this game. They want to improve their record. They started out strong this year, so I see Michigan coming out real strong today.
You think the Golden Gophers are going to be rebounding now after that big win on Thursday and maybe play a better game than many people would expect them to?
I believe so. I think they came off that big win. That last second shot, they're gonna come into this game thinking they have a lot of confidence right now. Michigan isn't a powerhouse, so I'd look to the Gophers to do well. They have a lot of seniors who want to do well, and it's a senior's last chance to shine on Williams Arena.
All right, we'll have the remainder of our pregame show coming up next right here on the original 1280 WWTC. Welcome back to the Gopher Women's Athletic Close-Up. As I mentioned before, I had a chance to talk with LaRue, and let's hear that now.
Well, LaRue, you're just a few minutes away now from your last game as coach, and there must be a whole bunch of different emotions going through your mind right now.
It is, Paul. There are a lot of emotions going through me, and I think the one that takes the priority is winning the ball game and making sure I'm there for my players. And, at the final zeros on the clock and the last horn, then it hit me that it's my last game. But
when the game is over, are you going to kind of stand in court and kind of look around and say, kind of take it all in?
I don't know. I have to see how it goes. Whether we win or lose, that makes a difference. But no, not really. Yeah, I probably will. You know, sometime that this evening, just sit there and just kind of look around. I'll be back to Williams Arena to just be in a different capacity.
Let's talk about the game Thursday. A nice win for you.
Oh, we played very well. We played very well the first half. The second half, we were a little sluggish, came out real flat. And Michigan State jumped on us and, you know, got a little bit of the lead, or got a nice little lead going in there at the final stretch. But we came through. We showed a lot of poise, and we held our composure, and we hit some key baskets and hit some key free throws. And I thought they really wanted it. They went out there from the beginning looking that way, and they did a great job. We really did a great job.
Okay, what about Michigan? What can we expect from them this afternoon?
Michigan's a little bit quicker, a little bit faster. They're just coming off a really serious loss to Iowa, but, you know, they had played okay in that game, and we got a little bit of the stats from that. But we're going to go out there and play our game and try not to let emotions get up, you know, too high. So when emotions are very high, the first couple of shots must go in. If not, then you have a long evening. So we're hoping that the first couple of baskets really go in, the first couple of shots, really.
When you think back now, LaRue, and you think back on this season, will you see improvements in the team, even though it's maybe not reflected in the conference record? Were there improvements?
Oh, tremendous amounts. And the players are playing together. They're playing as a team, and they're working real hard, and the skill level has gone up. I'm real pleased with that.
Good luck. 2 in a row to end it, I hope.
Yeah, that's what we want to do, Paul. That's exactly what we want to do. Thank you.
That's Coach LaRue Fields, the head coach of the Gopher women's basketball team, and she is coaching her last game here this afternoon at Williams Arena. On the floor right now, the Gopher seniors are being honored, and they have left quite a career, many of them. The seniors that are saying goodbye here this afternoon: Lea Bergin from Minneapolis, Juanita Boehland, Shoreview, Minnesota, Jackie Goulet of Midland, Michigan, or Missouri rather, Jennifer Hall of Burnsville, Minnesota, and Jodi Olson of Bellevue, Washington. And also you can add Sue Renner to that list. She's from Grand Rapids. And it's going to be a tough day, I'm sure, for many of those people. Laura, do you remember your last game as a Gopher, and what went through your mind?
I sure do, Paul. At first it was like this beginning part when you're introduced as a senior. You're thinking about it, you're emotional because your parents come up and everything. But then once the game started, you don't know, you don't remember that this is your last game. You're just out there to win. And then when it's all over, as you said to LaRue, you take a look, you come back up on the floor and you look and you think about what's gone on and how it's happened. And there's like a little happiness, and that there's a little sadness because you'll never play at this capacity and quality again, of quality kind of basketball. So it's a very emotional day for most of these seniors.
And I'm sure it's not just all wins and losses, Laura. There's just a lot of camaraderie. They've had fun together on the road and just playing the game at practices. They're all, I'm sure, have their very, very good friends on this team that they're maybe seeing for the last time as a player too.
Oh, definitely. Most teams, most of the girls on the teams have made like really good friends with 1 or 2 or 3 of the girls, but not all of them are best of friends, and we'll only see each other probably on times like when there's alumni kind of events and just get together like that. And they do share moments. You share moments with everybody on the team, and it's like a loss, but yet it's a new future for them also.
Okay, after the introductions, of course, we'll have the basketball game, and then it's coming up next. It's the Golden Gophers and the Michigan Wolverines on the original 1280 WWTC. Back to Williams Arena, where today the Gophers will end their regular season against the Michigan Wolverines, the team they started it with, and a loss earlier in the fall. Let's take a look at the Big Ten standings coming into play this afternoon. As I said before, the Michigan Wolverines are 5th in the conference right now at 10-7, 18-9 overall. Northwestern and Iowa are tied atop the conference. They are both 14-3. Northwestern is 23-4 overall, and the Hawkeyes 22-5. Purdue is 14-4 in 3rd place. Then comes Ohio State at 11-6. Michigan, as I said, at 10-7. Michigan State 7-10. Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin at 3-14, tied with the Gophers for the 9th and 10th spots. Iowa did defeat Michigan, by the way, on Thursday by a score of 78-47. Now, the last round of games coming up here this afternoon in the Big Ten. Michigan State plays at Iowa. Northwestern is at Ohio State. And Wisconsin is at Indiana. If Indiana were to beat Wisconsin, then the Gophers would move out of the cellar into 9th place, which I guess, Laura, would be at least a step in the right direction because they've gained at least one spot in the standings.
It sure would. It would help them out tremendously, too, as a program here at Minnesota. They improved from last year, and it would just be a big plus for the program. But the Gophers need to win today, though, in order to keep that, to get out of the cellar. They hope Indiana beats Wisconsin, and they need a big win here today.
What do you think the chances of them coming back and winning 2 in a row here to end the season are, Laura?
I think the chances are good. I was watching them warm up today, and they all look good. They look excited. Michigan looks a little just like they're here right now. They don't look like they came to play, but Sue Renner, if we get a good game out of Sue Renner, Jennifer Hall keeps consistent. Jodi Olson, it would be nice to have her in the game this time, and the Gophers can do it. They have the potential. They're up from Thursday's game. So I look for them to have a great game.
The two teams now, after the introduction of the seniors, are going to get just a couple of minutes to kind of get warmed up and take a couple of shots on the floor. The Wolverines coach, by the way, is Bud Vanderwege, and he is in his 6th season at Michigan with a 73-92 record. That's under 500, of course, for his career. And LaRue Fields is watching her team warm up for the last time as she'll step down as the Minnesota Golden Gopher coach. And I'm sure for LaRue, many thoughts go through her mind. I'm sure that she's disappointed in the way the season has gone. I'm sure she wishes she could have gone out on a higher note. But I think she's still very comfortable with her decision that she made earlier in the year. I think that it was made for the right reasons, Laura. I don't think she was trying to bail out. I've heard some people whisper that she may have been, quietly forced out of the position. I don't think that's true. I think she made the decision for the very reasons she talked about. She wanted to try something else, and I think inside she knows it was the right decision for her.
I think it was too, because she's been so comfortable with the rest of the season. You haven't seen anything like any stress from her, like, oh, I'm glad I'm getting out of here. She needed it. She knew she needed it, and it was the right decision. All the teammates felt the same way. They started coming on. They played well a couple games at the end of the season, and it was a good decision by all.
Don't forget, our hockey coverage here on WWTC is far from over. We'll be back on the air for our beginning of our coverage of the championship game at 6:55 tonight to drop the puck at 7:30. And that will be between Grand Rapids and Roseau, an all-northern final tonight at the St. Paul Civic Center. And you think that's it? No. Come back tomorrow. St. Paul Civic Center again for the beginning of the WCHA Final Four. We'll be on the air at 1:45 as the Golden Gophers take on the Fighting Sioux of North Dakota in what should just be a dandy hockey game. And then the night matchup will feature Wisconsin and Northern Michigan, the 3rd place game on Monday at 2 o'clock, and then the finale of the WCHA Final Four on Monday evening, and that will come your way at 7 o'clock. And even if the Gophers were to lose that first game to North Dakota, that 3rd place game could be very meaningful because it may very well be that the Gophers are going to need to win that game to get an NCAA bid. Even though they finished 2nd in the WCHA, it'll be very important for them to at least win one game in the WCHA Final Four. With the strength of the conference right now, the committee might pick the winner, for example, if Northern Michigan finishes 2nd in the tournament, even though they finished 4th in the conference. They might get a bid and the Gophers might stay home. So it's going to be a big tournament, and we'll start our coverage tomorrow right here on WWTC. And as many of you know, this is our last broadcast of women's sports for this current season, and I would like to thank the people that we've really come to know and really enjoy working with. Karen Smith, who has been kind of our liaison between the radio station and the women's athletic department. Karen has done a wonderful job with this. I congratulate the women's athletic department for having the courage to go out and get their own radio deal. I know they're talking about their own television contract for next season, and they're really going in the right direction, and I thank Karen Smith very much for her work. I also want to extend thanks to Chris Voelz, who I think is, the university is very, very fortunate to have someone of Chris Voelz' caliber here at the university, and it's been very enjoyable to work with Chris. Donna Olson, thank you for just being a lot of fun as well as being good at what you do, and also a thanks go to Angie Hultman, who is the sports information director, who has done a good job keeping guys like me, Laura, informed. And sometimes us media types aren't the smartest guys in the world, and it's not easy to work with us. So I thank everybody involved with the women's athletic department, and I thank Lynn McDonald, my analyst during the volleyball season. And Laura, it's been very enjoyable working with you, and I hope we can do it again next season.
I sure hope so too, Paul. I've enjoyed it a lot.
All right, the Golden Gophers. I'm sorry. The Golden Gophers are being introduced right now on the floor here to this crowd at Saturday afternoon at Williams Arena. We think we'll be talking with Charlie Hallman tonight at halftime, who usually works with my colleague Ray Scott on the men's basketball broadcast. And the last I heard, Laura, the men were in big trouble at Ohio State.
Oh, I haven't heard.
They were down by 14 at the half and being clobbered. And maybe Charlie Hallman will bestow a men's score on us as he comes up here at halftime.
That could be good, though. That's maybe what they need, though, right before the tournament when they go into it.
Dose of humble pie?
Yeah.
Well, the Michigan Wolverines, you said they maybe don't look like they're here to play, Laura. I hope they're not taking the Gophers lightly, because we've seen this Golden Gopher women's team give some pretty good teams a tussle, and I would think that in this last game for the seniors, they'll be very inspired here this afternoon, and the Gophers would like nothing better than to end their careers with 2 straight wins and maybe look back and have some pleasurable memories of the last week of the season.
I'm sure that's what the Gophers are looking for. The seniors are looking to have big games. You know, you do remember this last game the most when you go out, and if they can have a big game, to get a big game out of Jodi, Olson, Sue Renner, Jennifer Hall, they're going to win tonight. Michigan has a few seniors on their team tonight, and they're not at home, but they're going to be out there fighting too. So I really see this game turning out to be a very well-played basketball game tonight.
The starters here tonight for the Michigan Wolverines. 5'11" senior Tanya Powell, averaging 11.5 points per game and 7.6 rebounds. She's a forward. At the other forward will be 6'2" senior Joan Rieger, averaging 4.5 points a game and 3.6 rebounds. At the guards, 5'10" junior Carol Szajowski, 7.5 points a game, 2.6 rebounds. At the other guard, 5'10" senior Leslie Spicer, 11.2 points a game, 4.1 rebounds. For the Golden Gophers of Minnesota, at the guards, 5'4" sophomore Holly Thompson, 2.5 points a game, 2.4 rebounds. Senior Jodi Olson, 5'9", 9.4 points a game, 2.9 rebounds. At the forwards, 5'10" senior Jennifer Hall, 14.8 points a game, and 6' junior Ellen KRAMER, 14.6 a game, 6.1 rebounds. And 6'4" center, or senior rather, Sue Renner at the center position, 8.2 points a game and 4.4 rebounds. Golden Gophers dressed in their traditional home gold uniforms with the maroon and white trim. And the Michigan Wolverines come out in the traveling blue uniforms with the gold and the white trim. Gophers going right to left here in the first half. Tip will be at the center circle between Michigan's Joan Rieger and the Gophers' Sue Renner. Or make that Val Hall who will do the tip here for the Michigan Wolverines. And Laura, what do you think the key is here for the Gophers? To get the ball inside?
Yep, get it into Sue and just play their game.
Okay, the Gophers win the ball off the draw. Holly Thompson to Hall inside to Renner, tries one from 5 feet, knocked away, tries it again, long. KRAMER a rebound, up and in, and she's fouled. So a good start for the Gophers. KRAMER, and here goes toilet paper on the floor, and a final celebration. And now we'll have a bit of a delay to clean this up.
Oh, it's a technical, or it's a timeout. Oh, this is funny.
Oh, the referees can't slap a technical on a final game of the season, can they? Let's hope not. Anyway, Ellen KRAMER makes it a 2-0 game, and she will go to the line for the free throws. And some good enthusiasm under the boards there, Laura, by the Golden Gophers.
Gophers looking very aggressive on this first play here, and they're going to need to do that. They do have a technical, yeah. It's just like inland football, you know, the home crowd, if they're too loud, gets penalized.
And I don't think LaRue Fields is very unhappy about it either. She's down there laughing, and I think she realizes it's just a lot of fun. Here's KRAMER's free throw. It's good, 3-0 Gophers.
She's probably thinking it's better now than at the end of the game when it's, if it's a tie game.
That's exactly right. So now Michigan will get free throws on the other end. Carol Szajowski will go to the line for the Wolverines. Her free throw is good. Well, we're off to an interesting start here at Williams Arena. 3-1 Gopher lead, and now the second free throw is also good. And it's a 3-2 Minnesota lead, and Michigan will get the basketball.
This might even throw the Wolverines off a little bit. Just something a little bizarre happening right in the beginning of the game.
Well, I saw the Wolverines laughing about it too, and Joan Rieger will fire it out of bounds for Michigan at the center stripe. Leslie Spicer with the basketball, left dribble, and she drops it off to Val Hall. Dribbling off to her right, dropping to Powell. Powell driving the lane, now goes far side corner for Spicer. Inside, no good. KRAMER hauls down the rebounds for Minnesota. Ellen's had a good game here in the first 30 seconds. 2 rebounds and 3 points. Here's Holly Thompson for Minnesota. Right side pass for Jodi Olson. Inside for Renner. Turns from 8. Crawls around and falls. And the Gophers lead by a score of 5-2.
Sweet move by Sue. She got that ball. Faked, big fake down low. Turnaround jump shot. Very good move.
19:07 to play, first half. Gophers up by a score of 5-2. Here's Powell inside to Rieger. Trying to turn. Back out top Powell at the arc. Left side for Hall. Driving. Now backs out. Szaszowski rather. Now to Powell. She tries it hard off the back of the rim. KRAMER the rebound again for Minnesota. Now a high pass by Olson to Renner underneath. She double dribbled. One too many tries by Sue Renner.
Good pass though by Jodi. They need to break as much as they can on these guys.
And Michigan will have the basketball with 18:41 to play here in the first half. Across the line comes Szaszowski of Michigan, guarded by Holly Thompson. Well, she's a tall guard, isn't she? Now on the right side for Leslie Spicer. Spicer drives toward the baseline. Now back out top for Rieger. Inside for Val Hall. Turning left-handed hook is no good. Rebound by Powell. A foul committed underneath by Holly Thompson, who also took an elbow in the face. That will be the first foul on Minnesota here. And Tanya Powell from Grand Rapids, Michigan will go to the line for the Wolverines. No, it will not be a shooting foul. And Rieger will have it out underneath for the Wolverines. On the right side for Powell.
Gophers are playing a very tight man-to-man defense, very aggressive man-to-man defense on Michigan right now.
Powell trying to hit Spicer, throws it away, and will take it out back on the far side baseline. The Wolverines going left to right here in the first half. Gophers on top by a score of 5-2. Szaszowski with it. Now for Powell. Szaszowski driving the lane. Good defense by KRAMER. Dishes it off near side. Up and off on the shot by Spicer. KRAMER another rebound for the Gophers. Into the front court. Stops. Bounce past Renner. She's fouled as she goes up for the shot. And she'll go to the line for 2 as Spicer fouled her.
Gophers are playing very well right now. Everything is automatic. It's none of this hurry, rush. No turnovers. They're just playing simple, easy basketball.
And Sue Renner will try her luck here from the charity stripe with 7:54 remaining in the first half. Free throw in the air. No good. Hard off the back of the rim. And she'll get one more. Gophers now 1 for 1 from the free throw line this afternoon. And the second free throw is good. Kind of clanked it in there, but it went. And it's a 6-2 Gopher lead against the 5th place Wolverines of Michigan. Across the center stripe comes Szaszowski. Off on her right for Powell. Powell drives the lane, tipped away by Renner. Players pile to the floor. We've got a jump ball. It'll go to Michigan on the possession arrow.
Good hustle by the Gophers. They're playing a very good defense right now, denying each player the ball, so they have to work that much harder to get the ball, and the Gophers are slapping a hand on it and getting them mixed up.
Here's Spicer in the far baseline corner for Michigan. Now to Hall, back to Spicer at the three-point arc, out top to Powell. Bounce pass to Szaszowski at the high slot. Now out the far side, in deep now to Hall. Hall turns, hook, bounces around, doesn't fall. Rieger gets the rebound and a foul by Holly Thompson. And for Holly, that's her first foul here this afternoon, and Michigan will have the ball underneath the basket.
Holly better take it easy. We have not seen a game where Holly sat out maybe more than 4 minutes the whole game.
No, you're right. She's been a warrior, hasn't she? Here's Powell high off the glass, and another foul committed underneath. This is going to go against the Wolverines over the back. That was Holly's second foul, by the way. And this will be the Gophers' ball now underneath their own basket, still leading 6-2, 17:22 remaining in the first half of play. And here is Holly Thompson with the basketball. Into the front court she comes. On the right for Renner. Renner to KRAMER at the free throw line. Makes a move, stops. Left side, Holly Thompson. Thompson on the dribble. At the arc on the near side. Now drives the lane. Goes right to the hole. Puts it up. Off. Hall. Big rebound for the Gophers. Turning off the glass and scores. Jennifer Hall. Nice play.
Good drive by Holly, good follow-up by Jennifer. The Gophers are playing really well right now.
They really are. They look much sharper than Michigan at this point. Michigan has more to play for. Now inside it comes to Rieger. She turns. Back out top for Shazowski. Over in the far side, Spicer. Now to Val Hall. Bad pass. It'll go to the Gophers as she threw it over the head. And I think we're going to get a timeout off the Michigan bench here, or at least head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, Bud Van de Wege, is going to come up and have a chat with his gals. Hall will check out of the game for Michigan, and in will come Trish Andrew from Winnetka, Illinois. Gophers lead 8-2 and have totally dominated this game so far. We have 16:37 to play in the first half. Holly Thompson across the center line. Now on the front court on the far side. Bounce pass for Jodi Olson. At the arc, moving in, off for Thompson from 18, no. Rebound loose, it comes to the Wolverines. Here comes Spicer on the break, into the front court. Left side pass, now back to Spicer, tries one from 15 from the side, no good. Rebound hauled down by Rieger. That shot's blocked, comes to Powell. She tries one, she traveled. Or did they call a foul on the Gophers? A foul must have come before the traveling. And that will be the Gophers' third foul of the first half with 16:12 remaining. And to the line for Michigan will go Tanya Powell, the 5'11 senior forward.
She got away with a few steps there in the beginning.
Yes, she really did. Free throw, good.
Gophers are going to have to keep them off the board because that's how they'll get in this game, is by giving the Wolverines second shots.
Second free throw missed, 8-3 Gophers. And here they come into the front side with Holly Thompson. Now at the top of the key. Draws back, way out now. Guarded by Shasowski. She bounces the ball away, but Thompson keeps control. She has to go to her left to pick it up. Now still on the dribble. Shasowski moving over. Holly Thompson pinned. Good bounce pass for Renner. She tries one from 10 and hits it.
Good shot by Sue. She kept the ball. She does a really good job of keeping, when she gets the ball, keeping the ball above her head. She keeps the ball up above her head so nobody can really slap it away from her, and she gets the easy two.
Now off the glass deep inside for Michigan is Carol Shazowski, her first 2 points of the basketball game, and it's a 10-5 Minnesota lead. Here's Jennifer Hall on the far side. Bothered by Powell. Hall driving the lane. Puts it up on the underhand layup. No good. Fast break coming. 3-on-1 for the Michigan Wolverines. Spicer goes right in and lays it up and in off a nice pass by Powell. And it's a 10-7 game with the Gophers on top. Here's Holly Thompson for Minnesota. On the slow dribble. Now off on her left for KRAMER up top. Pass for Renner. Comes off her hands. Off the glass. Rebound into the hands of Trish Andrew. Long pass ahead for Powell. Fight for the ball. KRAMER comes back on defense and takes it away. Nice play by Ellen as she hustled back on the defensive end of the court. Now here's Jodi Olson. Inside for Renner. Back up top KRAMER. Drives to her left. Back inside for Renner. Off the glass. Good. They wave the basket off.
Great pass by the Gophers there by Ellen. Sue had the ball. She had 3 Wolverines on her, dumped it off to Ellen. Ellen saw that Sue just stepped back. All the other Wolverines came back on Ellen, dumped the ball into Sue, and she's wide open there. Very good movement by the Gophers.
Fourth foul on Michigan. It came before the shot, so it will be a non-shooting foul. Here's Hall at the baseline. She bounces it in for KRAMER. Driving the lane from 5, blocked. Falls on the baseline, saved by the Wolverines on a smart play. And Shazowski has the basketball as the Wolves have cut the lead to 3 now here on the Golden Gophers. On the near side, Spicer. Back out top it comes to Powell. Powell bounce pass back to Spicer on the far side now. Out top again to Shazowski. She's guarded by Jodi Olson. In the left baseline corner for Spicer. Now in for Rieger, turning short off the rim. Renner has the rebound. She's fouled by Rieger. 5th foul on Michigan. 14-11 still to be played here in the first half, and I don't think the Michigan bench The head coach, Bun Van de Wege, is very pleased with what he's seen of his team here in the first half. It's been a very lackadaisical effort.
They are not looking strong. They're not looking like a team that, excuse me, has beaten Ohio State, Northwestern once this year. They're just not looking strong right now, and the Gophers are playing so well.
Jennifer Hall drives off the glass, no, but Sue Renner follows up with the rebound and scores. 6 points for Sue here in the first half, make that 7, and it's a 12-7 Gopher lead. Here's Spicer on the near side now for the Wolverines. Back out top it comes. Shazowski back to Spicer. Shazowski again, driving the lane, goes through 2 Gophers, plays it up too hard though. The rebound to Rieger, and she dumps it in from short range. Nice play on both accounts there. First 2 points of the game for Rieger, and it's a 12-9 Gopher lead. Here's Jennifer Hall into the front court for the Gophers. Bounce pass for Kramer. Kramer at the baseline, in for Renner, turning from 5, no. Rebound in the hands of Shazowski, all the way down the floor for Powell. She chases it down left baseline corner. And back out now for Andrew, now Rieger, and finally Shazowski. On the near side, Powell. Andrew, up and in from 8, nice shot. Trish Andrew with her first 2. And the Gophers lead now cut to 1 at 12-11.
Gophers went to a 2-1-2 down there, and that defense is just not working for them right now. I think they might have to change back to a man-to-man. They were applying more pressure on the passer, and Michigan was having more problems passing the ball around the zone with their man-to-man defense.
Another foul called, or a traveling call rather, on Minnesota, and that will give Michigan the basketball with 12:58 remaining here in the first half. Shazowski over the center line on the near side, Spicer. Tipped away momentarily by Hall. Shazowski gathers it in at the center line, all the way down to Spicer. Deep inside, Andrew off the glass and scores and push Michigan in front for the first time. 13-12, the Wolverines lead it. Here's Jodi Olson across center for the Gophers. Right-handed dribble, goes to the far sideline. Guarded by Shazowski. Out top, Goulet. Now back on the far side to Olson. Olson looking inside, will dribble to the baseline. Comes right underneath, finds Goulet from 16, up, no good. But falls out of there, Kramer rebound, fouled as she went up, the shot comes off. But Kramer will get 2 for Minnesota with 12-11 remaining in half number 1.
Good hustle by Ellen. She had great rebound positioning underneath. Ball rolled off the edge, and she was there to pick it up.
Holly Thompson checks back into the game now, and Jennifer Hall will get a rest for Minnesota. 6th foul on Michigan, first on Andrew, and Kramer will get a chance at the free throw line. Ellen already 1 for 1 from there with 3 points on the evening, or the afternoon. They're all kind of running together, Laura, after all these games. Here's Kramer's free throw, good, bounced around and fell. Seen enough hockey in the last couple of days to last me a lifetime. Still more to come tonight, and tomorrow, and Monday. Kramer's free throw is no good. This one falls out, and it goes to the Wolverines. Michigan on the attack. Shazowski into the front court. Finds Andrew from 5. Bounces around and scores, and Michigan's got their offense going now after a slow start. 6 points for Andrew. 15-13 Wolverine lead. Here's Kramer on the near side. Pulls up at the baseline, over and across to Goulet. To Thompson out top. Here's Kramer from the free throw line. No good, hard off the back of the rim, brought down by Rieger to Spicer, and they'll start their offense there. Shazowski moving toward the near side, dishing off to Spicer. In for Rieger, puts it up the glass and in as she got around Kramer.
Gophers are not getting any help from their teammates. Ellen had that girl man-to-man. She just isolated her, and there was no weak side help for Ellen.
I was going to say that's not a very good matchup at all for the Gophers with Kramer against Rieger.
Well, if Ellen can use her quickness, she'll have to use it against Rieger, but she needs help on that.
Here's Lea Bergin turning from 10 on the side, baseline no good. And the Wolverines have a chance to add to their 4-point lead as they already lead. 11:08 here to play first half. On the near side, Powell deep inside, turning. Shazowski scores.
They're using that mismatch. Powell's a little taller, a little wider, a little stronger than Holly, so they just send her down there, post her up, and it's an easy 2 for them. 6
points for Shazowski here in the first half. 19-13 Michigan lead. Here's Holly Thompson out top to Jodi Olson. On the near side for Goulet, tipped out of bounds, and a nice play by Spicer. And Up off the bench for the Gophers, Jennifer Hall and Sue Renner ready to check back into the basketball game, and Jodi Olson and Lea Bergin will sit down.
Good substitution right now. The Gophers are not far behind. It gave them a minute rest. Sue and Jennifer have been playing well, so it's a good time to get them back in the game. Offensively and defensively, they've been playing well.
Here's Hall inside to Renner from 5, no good. And it goes across the baseline off of the Wolverines, and it will still belong to Minnesota.
Sue needs to throw a fake in there now. She's being too predictable. She's just turning around and shooting it, and the girl's going up. If she just...
Sue Renner has a shot blocked and a foul committed underneath against Andrew. That will put the Gophers in the bonus. It'll be a 2-shot foul for Renner, and Sue will try to cut this 6-point lead down to 4. 7 points on the afternoon for Sue Renner, playing her last game in the Gopher uniform.
And she's had a good season this year.
She really has.
On the road last week, she didn't play well, but she played well on Thursday, and the team was in it. They won the game. Every game they've been in, Sue's had a good game.
Her alma mater, Grand Rapids, Minnesota, in the finals of the hockey tournament this evening. I wonder if Sue's planning on heading over to the Civic Center to catch some high school hockey against those hated Roseau Rams. First free throw is good.
Well, if she doesn't have a ticket by now, I don't think she'll
She'll
find
have big
one.
trouble, you're right. Second free throw off the back of the rim. And here come the Wolverines on the attack. Powell takes it to the far baseline corner. High post to Rieger. Now on the near side, Chizowski. Out top to Andros. She traveled as she made one too many moves. And that 19-14 lead for the Wolverines will be tested as the Gophers get control of the basketball. 10-13 left here, first half. Glad you've joined us this afternoon on WWTC. I'm Paul Johnson along with Laura Koenen, Robin Banks, Mike Ryan back in the studio. Here's KRAMER dribbling toward the lane, now out top to Renner, and she is fouled by Chizowski, and Renner will get a one-on-one chance from the free throw line. Sue Renner looks like she's on fire down there right now. Sometimes you watch her play and she just has that intensity, and she plays very well when she has it going, and some nights you watch her play and you wonder if she really has it all going for her on that particular night.
It causes a lot when she's moving. Right now she's moving very well without the ball, and when the nights when she's just out there, she doesn't move. She just sort of posts up and muscle, but she's moving well today.
And she missed the front end of the one-on-one, and that will give Michigan the ball with a 5-point lead, under 10 to play first half. Chizowski across the center line, now dribbles to the near side. Trapped by Thompson, back to Spicer, chases it down, can't save, stolen by Goulet of Minnesota. Jackie pulls up, now for KRAMER, tries one, put it all the way across, nobody there, and it will go out of play and belong to the Wolverines with 9:37 left first half.
The Gophers are not looking like the same team they came out in the first 4 minutes here. They played so fundamentally well the first 4 minutes. Now they're playing a little frazzled. They're making passes they should. That was a good hustle by Jackie Goulet, good steal, and they come down, they have a 3-on-2, and they turn it over.
Yeah, it's just, you know, we've seen inconsistency all season long, and I think that's probably what drives LaRue Fields nuts after a while. Leah Woldridge, who's now in the game for the Wolverines, handling the ball. Out top for Andrew. Her shot from the free throw line, hard off the back. Fight for the rebound. Holly Thompson and Gilbert go down for the Gophers. They tie it up. It'll belong to Minnesota as the arrow points the other way. 9:21 left to play first half. 19-14 Michigan. Last game of the season for the Gophers. Trying to equal last year's Big Ten mark of 4-14. Holly Thompson. Hounded by Powell on the near side. Hall up top now for Renner at the free throw area. Renner inside for Thompson. Rather, Jodi Olson, bad pass. Jodi gets back for it though. Now to Dana Gilbert. In the corner, all the way across Hall, driving, has it stripped away, but Renner picks it up off the floor and lays it up and in. 10 points for Renner. 8:52 to play in the first half.
Now that's being in the right place at the right time.
Boy, that's for sure. 19-16, the lead for the Wolverines. Powell on the near sideline, now for Woolridge. She dribbles off to her left, free throw line, doesn't shoot, near side Andrews. All the way across for Spicer, Jodi Olson guarding her. Spicer one dribble, baseline for Powell. Blocking foul on Jodi Olson as she tried to drive the baseline. But LaRue Fields applauding Jodi Olson's hustling defense there trying to block off the baseline.
Gophers, Jodi right now is playing well on defense. Her offense isn't really strong right now, but she's keeping Powell down in the numbers. She's a strong threat for the Michigan Wolverines. She's averaging 11.5 points a game, and I don't think she has but 2 right now, so.
Shar Duran checks into the game for the Wolverines and leaves it back now for Woolridge. She's working on Holly Thompson. Bounce pass for Durand. Now for Woolridge. Coming in toward the lane area. Stops. Bounce pass deep inside low. Shot is up. Good by Powell. Will it count? No, it's no basket, but it will be a foul on the Golden Gophers, and that will be Minnesota's 5th foul here of half number 1. And the Gophers trail by 3, 19-16, 8:14 to left to be played here in the first half. Bounce pass inside. Rieger all alone. She scores and is fouled this time. Rieger was isolated again there, Laura.
The Gophers, the Wolverines' offense is a lot of picks. A lot of picks get the defense either off a foot or make them switch, so there's a mismatch. And the Gophers are not helping out one another right now. It's, if you get caught or you're behind, you gotta switch or have somebody there to help you.
Free throw, no. And the rebound comes to the Golden Gophers, Holly Thompson. 21-16, the Wolverines on top of Minnesota. Holly Thompson on the dribble. Now bounce pass for Renner just outside the arc on the far side. Bad pass for Jodi Olson. She threw it over her head and out of bounds. And it will go to Michigan as Juanita Boehland gets up to check into the basketball game for the Gophers, and Sue Renner will get a rest. Juanita Boehland, also a senior for the Gophers, on her last trip through the, I guess you could say, the bowels of this old barn, Williams Arena. Now Duran dishes it off near side Powell. Out top Spicer, left side Duran. Inside to Powell. She turns, goes around Gilbert, misses the shot. Gilbert rebound for Minnesota. And here comes Holly Thompson the other way back. Left side Hall. Hall up inside to Boehland. Handles the pass, trying to move inside. She's sandwiched there, can't shoot. Powell blocks it and gets the rebound. Nice defense there by the Wolverines.
They had Juanita just covered. She needed to throw it right back to Jennifer because her defense came on Juanita.
Now off on the far side for Woolrich. Bad pass. It'll go to the Gophers as it landed across the baseline before Jodi Olson picked it up. Now they're going to give the ball to Michigan as the referee pointed the wrong way to start with. No, it's going to go to the Gophers. Or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Did you see Dana Gilbert just went and grabbed the ball from the referee? No, it's our ball.
That's right. Hey, you know, who's calling this game, Dana was saying. Here's a foul on Powell. As down in the center circle goes Jennifer Hall. And she'll get a one-on-one chance with 7:12 remaining here in the first half. 21-16, the Wolverines lead it. Wolverines 10-7 in the conference. Gophers 4-14.
Jennifer Hall had a good season, good career here at Minnesota. She's 8th leading scorer and the all-time leading scorer for the women's basketball here at the U.
Free throw good, and I guess it's not hard to guess who the #1 leading scorer is, because she's sitting right here with me, Laura Coonan. Free throw also good for Hall, gives her 4, and it's a 21-18 Michigan lead. The Gophers hanging right with the Wolverines here. Michigan's a good basketball team. Here's Woolrich off to Duran on the far side. Now for Powell. Powell driving the lane. Spicer eyeing Hall, now moving in toward the hole. Fouled from behind by Jennifer Hall. And she'll get a couple.
Refs are calling this game real close tonight. Little ticky-tack things they're calling where other refs that we've seen in the Big Ten will let it go. And I think that's more to the advantage of the Gophers if they let them play a little more physical. They're a little slower, slow-down team, so they like the physical game a little better than they do this little ticky-tacky stuff the referees are calling right now.
Spicer at the free throw line for the Michigan Wolverines. Her first trip to the line tonight. She has 4 points, averaging about 11 rather for the season. First free throw no good. Second free throw is good. 22-18, the Wolverines up by 4. Pass in. And we'll do that again as it hit one of the Michigan Wolverines. Spicer in front of Jennifer Hall. Now to Dana Gilbert. Full court trap here by the Wolverines. Gilbert gets free, sends it ahead for Holly Thompson. Holly tracks it down in the far baseline corner. And she'll just set up the offense now. 22-18, Michigan leads, 6:40 left first half. Here's Gilbert for Thompson.
Wolverines are in a 2-1-2 right now. The Gophers have to switch their offense to accommodate this.
Jodi Olson all the way across near side Hall. 2 on the clock. Boehland puts it up from 18. Oh, and it almost went. That's not exactly the shot the Gophers were looking for. And the Wolverines have the basketball. 22-18 lead. On the far side, Powell for Michigan. Looking inside. Top for Andrews. Now all the way across for Durand. Durand. Foul called away from the basketball on Dana Gilbert. And that will be the Gophers' 7th, so now everything's a bonus. 4-point lead for Michigan, a very low-scoring first half, 22-18 with 6:02 remaining. I'm Paul Johnson along with Laura Coonan, and we're glad you've chosen to spend part of your Saturday afternoon with us, and we're hoping that you spend the Saturday evening with us as well here on WWTC. The championship of the high school hockey tournament from the Civic Center, where over 17,000 will be on hand to see Grand Rapids battle Roseau. 6:55 airtime. Here's Powell from the free throw line. Good.
Who do you like in that game, Paul?
Well, I like Roseau.
Roseau.
Yeah, they've just been so impressive in this tournament. They've destroyed 2 really good Metro teams in White Bear Lake and Minnetonka. Second free throw, no good. And I just have a hard time seeing anybody shut this team down. Ball goes out of play on the far side. It will belong to who? Referee's talking it over. It'll go to a foul?
No, it's a jump ball.
Jump ball. You don't see many of those anymore, do you, Laura?
No.
No, it's not a jump ball. It's going to go to Michigan. Oh, on the possession arrow.
Yeah.
Pardon me. I thought when you said jump ball, it was literally a jump ball. You had me all confused, Laura.
Sorry. They didn't know what to call, so they just call it jump ball or possession arrow.
Or possession arrow. Just say, Paul, it's a change in possession, then I can comprehend these things.
It was a jump ball when I played.
Okay. To the free throw line, now will go Powell on the foul by the Golden Gophers, Dana Gilbert. And checking back into the game now for the Wolverines is Rieger, and out goes Andrews. 5:54 remaining here in the first half. The Wolverines lead by 5, 23-18. Free throw is good. She'll get one more. Tanya Powell has 3 points, all on free throws. She's 3 for 5 from the line. Second free throw also good. 25-18 Wolverines, 7-point lead. And this is where the Gophers have had some trouble at times, Laura, where they've played well all the first half and then have kind of fallen on hard times right at the end of the half. Here's Juanita Boehland firing inside for Stacy Carver. Now for KRAMER for the Gophers. Tried to go back inside to Boehland. Takes it off one of the Wolverines' hands outside to Thompson. Now for Olson, drives the lane, puts it up. It's blocked by Rieger. And the Wolverines have the ball with Shazowski. She starts back on the break. Near side Powell for Durand. Up top Rieger. Now on the far side, Shazowski. Trying to drive, finds up some room, dishes it off Durand. Tries one from 17 and scores. Nice offense there, good ball movement. First 2 for Durand. It's a 27-18 game and the Wolverines have their biggest lead at 9.
Gophers need to pass the ball here. They're trapping. They need to get rid of it right away.
Like Holly Thompson in big trouble. Gets free to Carver. Now here's all alone under the basket. KRAMER, and KRAMER scores.
That's what the Gophers got to do. It happened to them when they were trapping, half-court trapping Wolverines. They passed the ball and got an easy layup. And if the Wolverines are going to half-court trap the Gophers, they need to just pass the ball, get rid of it right away, and cut out the dribbling.
Now Durand on the far side for the Wolverines. For Shazowski at the free throw line, and she buries it from there. And it's 29-20, the Wolverines. It looked like a pretty good basketball the team all of a sudden here in the first half. Here's Jodi Olson for the Gophers, all the way across near side, high arc Carver. Now dribbles off to her right to Thompson. Bounce pass to the free throw line, KRAMER. KRAMER looking down low. She's got Carver all alone off the glass and good. Stacy Carver.
Excellent play. Ellen had the ball at the top of the key. Stacy's defensive player was just not looking, and Stacy made a great move to the basket without the ball. Easy backdoor.
Now on top is Spicer on the near side. Deep inside to Powell as Kramer went sprawling, and Powell was left all alone for Michigan as she scores her first field goal of the afternoon. 31-22, the Wolverines up top by 9. Here's Holly Thompson. Bounce pass into Juanita Boehland. Now out top to Carver. All the way into Kramer. Turning from short range off the glass and scores. Nice move there by Ellen Kramer. And she has 7 here in the first half.
Ellen does really well underneath, even with her size. She positions her body so well and muscles her way up to the basket, and that's how she scores most of her points.
Powell dribbling in now for Michigan. Drives the baseline, puts it up off the glass and scores. Tanya Powell makes it 33-24. And here comes Holly Thompson. Bounce pass in, stolen away by the Wolves as Rieger tipped it away. Here's Shazowski for Spicer going in over Holly Thompson. Good. Spicer scores.
Gophers are a little lax on defense right now. Wolverines have come down the last 5 possessions and have scored every time.
Here's Jodi Olson into Thompson. Back out top to Carver for Kramer. Back to Thompson on the far baseline corner into Kramer. Taken away. Foul called. And while we have substitutions, let's take a 30-second timeout for the Inner Circle Breakfast right here on the original 1280 WWTC. 35-24, the Wolverines lead. Ellen Kramer rather goes to the line. Free throw no good. Rebound comes off of the Wolverines. No, it came off the Gophers. It will belong to the Wolverines. The referee pointed the wrong way. Gophers have not been very good from the free throw line this afternoon. And the Wolverines now still own an 11-point lead, 35-24. Wolverines basketball.
Gophers applying a full court press, see if they can get some points on the board, cause the Wolverines to make some turnovers.
Here's Shazowski trying to bring it up for Michigan. Full court trapping defense by the Gophers for Tempe Brown. And Brown breaks the press. All alone underneath is Rieger, and she banks it off the glass and scores. Joan Rieger has 8. And it's a 37-24, 13-point Michigan lead here in the first half. Here's Jodi Olson dribbling off to her right. Now in for Kramer. She tries one from the baseline. No good. Rebound fought for. Still fought for, and Shazowski picks it up for the Wolverines across the center line. Goes over to the far sideline. By the way, at halftime here at Williams Arena, we're going to be seeing an exhibition of wheelchair basketball. I'm kind of looking forward to that, Laura. Off the glass goes Powell, and an offensive foul called, and the Gophers will get the ball.
Minnesota's had a very good basketball team, have sent some very good athletes to the wheelchair basketball.
We had a chance to talk wheelchair basketball with a young lady on the Ray Scott show one time, and she said, I asked her, I said, you know, when you played regular basketball, do you miss it? And she said, hey, I'll tell you what, I did for a while until I found about wheelchair basketball. It says the same game, same competitiveness, and I'm totally satisfied as an athlete.
Great.
And here's Jennifer Hall backing off, and I bet you they can play. Here's Kramer turning, scoring. Ellen Kramer, who has 9 in the first half, make that 10. 37-26 Michigan lead, 1:22 remaining. Now ahead is Tempe Brown for Michigan. Bounce pass on the near side for Tori Shaw. Shori puts the ball to the floor. Now deep inside is Shazowski, who is all alone, and she puts it through, and she has 10, and a 39-26 Michigan lead. Here's Jodi Olson. Bounce pass for Kramer at the free throw line. She traveled as she made the move, and the whistle blows. 1 minute even remaining here in the first half. Gophers, as we talked about, Laura, start out so well, and now here they are again, trailing 13 at the half, or close to the half. Just 1 minute remaining. Here's Tempe Brown breaking through. Over on the far side to Duran. Up top, Shazowski from the free throw line. Bounces around and falls. And Shazowski is impressing me in this first half. He's being a good all-around player.
The Gophers are getting thrown off by their press. They're trapping at half court, and then they're not getting back on defense to help out when the ball gets down there.
Foul underneath. Let's take another 30-second timeout for Heinz Ketchup on the original 1280 WWTC. Sue Renner to the line for Minnesota. First free throw is good. Sue now on the evening is 3 for 3 from the line. That's not what you're after, really. But she's having a good first half. 11 points, trying now for number 12, and that's good. 41-28 Michigan. Once again, the Gophers pressing. Here's Woolridge with the ball. Comes over the center stripe. Now over on the far side to Durant, back to Woolridge. 27 seconds left, 18 on the clock, so the Wolverines have to shoot. Underneath it comes Tempe Brown, blocked from behind by Renner. They fight for it. Renner gets it free to Jennifer Hall. Ahead to KRAMER. It hits her foot and goes out of play. Tough break there for the Gophers.
Hit the referee's foot.
Oh, it hit the referee's foot. It looked like it came off of Ellen's foot from my angle here. At any rate, it's going to belong to the Michigan Wolverines.
Crowd didn't like that call.
Not at all.
I don't know why, though. The ref's part of the play out there anytime it goes off them.
Now on the far side, Brown, 7 seconds left. The shot clock is off. Trying to get free. Now back to Brown up top. Durant from 17, no good. And the halftime score will be Michigan 41 and the Gophers 28. We'll be back and talk with our halftime guest after we take this 2.5-minute timeout on the original 1280 WWTC. 41-28, Michigan leading the Gophers at halftime from Williams Arena. We're watching an exhibition right now on the floor of wheelchair basketball, the Rolling Timberwolves, and it's very interesting to watch. Our halftime guest, Charlie Hallman of the St. Paul Pioneer Press and Dispatch. Charlie, you remarked it's somewhat like a chess match out there.
Well, it's kind of interesting to see how the gals roll around here. Actually, they're pretty good players. They're almost as good as the ones we were seeing earlier. No, it's interesting that you should have me on at halftime today because I was supposed to be doing the halftime with your pal, Ray Scott.
I was going to ask you about that.
But the hockey tournament is here tomorrow and the last couple of days. And the college hockey tournament is my kind of thing, and I do all the advanced work on it. So I had to stick around and do that, Paul. But, hey, pretty soon now, no longer the St. Paul Pioneer Press Dispatch, the St. Paul Pioneer Press.
That's it, huh?
A couple weeks from now, you'll be taking a look at a new newspaper.
It's going to be all laid out differently? And
it's going to be beautiful. It's a lot of people have spent a lot of time for a while here now getting it ready, and the hiring of Bob Sansevier away from the Star Tribune was just one of the many steps where we hired a guy by the name of Bob Abbott, who used to be with the Rochester Post-Bulletin and has been at the Dallas Times-Herald the past few years, past 10 years on their copy desk. He's going to be one of the copy desk chiefs. We hired Ray Richardson, who covered that Gopher hoops tilt this afternoon. 93-83 was the final.
Ohio State?
Ohio State won the game, yeah. The Gophers got themselves in a terrible hole early and then tried to get themselves out. They made a nice little run at the end of the game, but didn't make it.
Why are the Gophers so inconsistent, Charlie? They can come out and just look like world beaters one night. The next night, is it because of the strength of the conference, you think?
Well, I don't think Clem put any stress in this game whatsoever. In fact, he only had them practice a couple times this week. So, no, he wanted them to get a little rest, and they looked a little weary and didn't look very good at all. So, it's one of those things. But it's an interesting way to prepare them for the NCAA tournament. He'll be hard on them this week and right back after it. So what about you? What do you think of this game?
The one we're watching right now, or the one we just watched?
The one where the one we've been watching, 41-28.
Well, it's really the same story that we've seen all season, Charlie, where the Gophers will play well for a while, but just seem to run into spots where they either lose their concentration or they don't adjust well to new offenses, and they seem about this time, about maybe 5-6 minutes left in the half, they just sort of fall out of it. And we've seen it over and over again here at Williams Arena and on the road.
Well, it looks to me, not having watched them play that often, that Ellen KRAMER and Sue Renner today are about the only thing they have going for their offense. I don't recall Jodi Olson taking more than a shot or two in the entire first half. She should be their gun.
Yeah, she should be, and she hasn't been used the way she should be. They haven't gotten her the ball. We've had games where she hasn't taken a shot in a whole half. I don't think she took a shot the whole first half here today. And there have been times, Charlie, when the Gophers have been trailing by 8 or 9 points where she's been on the bench down the stretch with no fouls. So it's hard to understand what's happening, but hopefully they can rebound here in the second half. What about LaRue Fields? Do you think that her resignation in the middle of the season, Charlie, and that hurt this team, or is that what she had to do?
Well, I don't know. She had to do it for her own personal satisfaction. She's been doing this ever since she was a kid. You know, she came from a little small town down in the hill country and the southeastern part of the United States, went to a tiny college. Frances Marion became a very good basketball player, sort of earned her stripes there, became head coach and athletic director at Morgan State College in Baltimore, and she hasn't done anything all of her life. And I guess everybody reaches the stage in their life that they want to do something else. So she had to do it for herself, for her own sanity, to get back into what she would like to have, the nice flow of the second half of her life. And all of us do that. We have reevaluate, sure. And it's unfortunate for these kids that it happened to occur when it did, but they weren't that much better of a basketball team than a 33% team anyway. They have 7 open scholarships right now. They got to get a coach in place, and then they got to go after the best kids around. But they also have to bank some, because next year, even in just the city of St. Paul, we have 4 Division I kids, and 2 of them are bona fide supers. The 2 young ladies at St. Paul Harding. They are great players, probably better than any women's basketball players here at the university.
Well, I know Chris Voelz is actively right now pursuing not just, she's going after a coach that can win games, because she's told me that she's talking to people who are going to be involved with the NCAA tournament, and I think Chris Voelz has the wherewithal, Charlie, to come in here with a coach that can win games and has won games in the past.
Well, I think she's proven that she can hire good people. She got a very good softball coach from actually a friend of hers from Oregon, but it wasn't preordained that way.
Right.
And Teresa Wilson's her name. They haven't done very well so far. They are really missing their little second baseman, Carrie Blank, who's out for the season, and I guess their top pitcher is out for the season. They're really in trouble right now. But Voelz runs a pretty strong athletic program. She's got a very good women's gymnastics team, had a good cross-country team that made it to the Nationals.
Very good swimming program.
Under Gene Freeman, yeah. In fact, I wrote a little bit about Linda Ogema tomorrow, the girl from the sophomore from the Netherlands, who has a chance, not a good chance, but a chance to win an event at an NCAA meet this week in Austin, Texas. Won 2 Big Ten championships a couple of weeks ago. Big, tall gal, 6'1", 6'2", really a nice lady, really a nice lady. And if the one thing you can say about University of Minnesota women athletes, they're very classy, well-behaved, very nice people, and they represent the University of Minnesota very well.
I can't let you go until we talk a little bit of hockey, because we're going to both be out there tonight at the Civic Center.
I won't be.
You're not going to be there.
No, I'm going to be right here. I'm going to run over and do that press conference for the WCHA.
Yeah, I'm going to be over there.
But I'm going to come back here and do #1 versus #2 in men's gymnastics in the country. I'd love to watch Rosa play Grand Rapids, but I think the Rosa Rams are going to walk away with it.
So do I. They've devastated 2 really good Metro teams.
Now I see our dear friend Miss Coonan is back.
Yeah, what kind of memories do you have of this lady here playing basketball?
What do I have?
Charlie?
She was the best woman basketball player that ever played here, probably ever will play. She was also, I had a chance to watch her play in the Pan Am Games. She was a goaltender for the U.S. team in the team handball. She was exceptional again. She's a pal of mine, and I like her a lot, and you're very fortunate to have her as a color person, and we're very fortunate to have had her move over here from Wisconsin a long time ago.
That's right.
But one of these days she's going to go out and join that Sun and the Fun crowd, because she got used to that in Colorado a little bit, and I have a feeling she might head back there if she ever does get her darn degree.
Yeah, she's
got to get it soon, too.
She's leaning toward going back to that handball team again, Charlie.
Well, I mean, once you get that Olympic blood in you, you get all those Olympic pins, we haven't experienced that here in the metro area yet. But when the sports festival comes here this summer, and Laura's working for those people, people will be starting to trade those little pins. They're about an inch long and about a third of an inch high.
Okay, what do you think about the second half here? Can the Gophers come back and get back in this game?
Well, the Michigan Wolverines have a couple of tall girls, Miss Rieger and Miss Andrew, and they have kept the Gophers off the boards, and they've scored a lot of points inside. We need a flexible flyer on this team. We need somebody like Miss Coonan to come back in here who can run up and down the floor and make baskets from everywhere. And that's what she was when she was an All-American here at the university. And like I said, she was probably the best basketball player, female basketball player to ever play here, and may be of all time.
Okay, when are we going to see the new St. Paul Pioneer Press?
March the 26th. You can bank on it. You're going to love it.
Okay, Charlie, thanks a lot for coming up here. We appreciate it.
BJ, it's nice to be here, and I love your broadcasting buddy, Mr. Scott. And I hear that you guys have a hell of a show, but you've never had me on. One of these nights you're going to have to do that.
We're going to work it out.
Okay, Paul.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Charlie Holman, St. Paul Pioneer Press Dispatch, soon to be the St. Paul Pioneer Press. And we'll come back with the second half play-by-play from Williams Arena. 41-28, Michigan leads it at the half. And you're listening to Golden Gopher women's basketball on the original 1280 WWTC. Okay, we're about set to get started here in the second half of play. It was fun to talk to Charlie Hallman, who's really one of the fun guys in this business, and he was talking about you, Laura, and I'm not going to tell you what he said.
Oh, okay.
It was all good things, though.
Charlie's a good guy, and he's great for women's athletics.
Yeah, he is.
He's been a big supporter ever since I've been here, and we need more guys like Charlie Hallman who believe in the women's sport athletic movement.
That's right. Now a bad pass. Jodi Olson tries to save. They go to the floor. Sue Renner down there, and Holly Thompson picks it free for KRAMER off her hands, and it will go to the Michigan Wolverines as the Gophers turn it over in their first possession. No, they're going to change the one referee came over and overruled the other, and the ball will go to the Golden Gophers. Now he said, quote, Laura Coonan is the best female basketball player that's ever played here and may be very well the best that will ever play here.
Oh,
that's pretty nice, isn't it?
It is.
And he didn't say I was the best broadcaster that had ever come through here, but I'll just live with it. Here's Holly Thompson trying to drive in, runs into looked like a forest to her down there as the shot clock runs out. I tell you, a little Holly Thompson, and then all of a sudden in front of her, there's Val Hall and Joan Rieger. Rieger at 6'2", and Val Hall at 6'3". Holly Thompson at 5'4". It was like looking through a forest for her, and it didn't happen. Here come the Wolverines back on the attack on the far side. Spicer. 13-point lead for the Michigan team. Out top now Powell, near side Spicer. Free throw line Shazowski, way short. Rebound though to Rieger, and she plays it up now back up top to Shazowski. Over on the far side, Powell. Inside to Shazowski. She's blocked but fouled by Holly Thompson. It'll be Holly's third of the basketball game so far. Is up off the bench for the Golden Gophers is Jenny Zeller. She'll check into the game and relieve Holly.
I think that foul was on Sue Renner. She came over the top. It didn't look much. Fans, it didn't look much like a foul, but
they have number 15 up there, and there isn't one, so we can take your guess.
Now it's number 25.
And Jodi is not in the game at the current time now. Oh, yes, she is. Pardon me. Here's the free throw. Good. 42-28 now. And the Gophers need to get something going in a hurry here, Laura. It's going to be a long second half. Inside Renner. Off on the far side, Jenny Zeller. She tries one from 10 and scores, and that's exactly why she's in the basketball game right now, to shoot the ball. And she makes it a 42-30 game.
Excellent shot by Jenny. It was a 15-foot shot. We haven't seen one of those by the Gophers yet. It's going to bring the defense out and leave the inside open then.
Out top to Powell now as Michigan works their front court offense. To Shazowski. She moves in toward the free throw line. Inside all alone is Val Hall, and she banks it off the glass and in. First two of the game for Val Hall. She's averaging about 6 points a game. And here comes Jodi Olson. Jenny Zeller, just a sophomore. She's a pretty good player. Here's a steal by Powell rather. And over on the right side for Shazowski. She lays it up and in. Wolverines work the fast break. And a 46-30 lead for the Wolverines, the biggest of the game. On the near side, Jodi Olson driving toward the baseline. Stops off the hands of Powell, but it reaches Renner. Out top again, bad pass. This one will go to the Wolverines. And I'll tell you what, that size advantage inside is really hurting the Gophers, as LaRue Fields will call time, and so will we. You're listening to Golden Gopher women's basketball on the original 1280 WWTC. 46-30 is the score. Michigan on top. They have the basketball going right to left. And Powell has it. Works around Hall. Now on the near side, Spicer. Back out top to Powell. On the far side, Rieger. She's at the high post. Now over on the right side, Powell. Out top, free throw line, Shazowski. She puts it up and crawls around, falls off, but the rebound is there, Hall. And you know what I'm impressed about with Michigan here, Laura, is they've got so much depth and they've got so many players that can come in and get you. And they're a pretty good basketball team.
That's what's made them a very good team this year. That's why they're not in the cellar right now. They have the depth. They give someone a rest. They don't lose their points on the board there. They just keep them maintaining. The starter gets the rest. They come in the game and keep going with the game.
48-30. Jennifer Hall drives the baseline and is fouled, and she'll get a couple of free throws. Foul goes, I think, against Rieger, although they have a 55 up on the board and there is no such player.
They'll give it to Sue.
Yeah, maybe they'll give it to Sue Renner of the Gophers. She's 55. Let's just find the 55 somewhere. Here's Jennifer's free throw on the way. She is 2 for 2 from the line. Misses that free throw. And now she goes 2 for 3. Jennifer from Burnsville, Minnesota. She averaged about 13.5 last year, up to about 14.8 a game this season. And that free throw is good, so 2 for 3 from the line and a 48-31 Michigan lead. The Gophers do some trapping. They go man-to-man. Shazowski over the center court line. Bothered by Jenny Zeller. Over on the right side, Powell. Jennifer Hall guarding her. There's so many mismatches down there right now, though, Laura, even when they go to a man defense. Inside to Powell. Jennifer Hall has to reach over the back and foul her. And that will be the second foul on the Gophers here in the second half.
That's where the Gophers need help. Because there is a mismatch there, everybody has to help each other out. They have to just push them to the middle, push the offense to the middle so the rest of the defensive players can help out.
Powell trying to drive, runs into Renner, puts a bad shot off. The rebound comes down to Jodi Olson, and away she comes at half court. All the way down to Jennifer Hall at the baseline. Into KRAMER, turning off the glass, no good. Rebound loose. Hall gets it to Renner. She puts it up from short range, misses the easy shot. Still fighting for the rebound. Hall has it. Underneath for KRAMER, stolen by Spicer. Here comes Shazowski of Michigan at the center circle. High arc, right side Powell. Now to Hall, out top to Rieger. Now free throw line Powell. And back outside again to Shazowski. Powell has it. Over on the far sideline. Wolverines going right to left. Up top, here's Rieger from the free throw line. Short off the rim. Rebound, though, brought down by Hall, and she misses from short range. And a foul on Rieger as she came over the top of Jenny Zeller. And that will give the Gophers the basketball, and that will be the third foul on Rieger.
It'd help it get her out of the game because there is a mismatch in size right now. Ellen KRAMER is guarding Rieger, and Rieger's at 6'2", and Ellen KRAMER is standing at 6 feet, and she just uses her size so much better that it hurts the Gophers.
Now Jennifer Hall commits a foul as the Michigan Wolverines stole the ball. And the Gophers just look a little bit dejected out there right now, Laura, like, you know, that kind of shake the head of it's happening again feeling.
They do not look like an exciting team right now. When they came out starting the game, the first 3-4 minutes, they look like they're having fun. They're slapping each other's hands, having fun, smiling. You don't see anything right now, no excitement, anything right now from the Gophers.
Spicer. Shazowski, back to Spicer from 17, no good, rims around, falls away. Rieger rebound, yes, and she just outfought Jodi Olson for that one.
The Gophers are getting killed on the defensive rebounds right now too. Wolverines are getting second, third shots right now, and that's what the Gophers don't want right here.
Here's KRAMER turning from inside the lane, and she scores. Ellen KRAMER with her first 2 of the second half, and it's a 50-33 Michigan lead with 15:15 remaining in the second half. Over on the right side now, Spicer in the front court. Shazowski. Now Powell all the way across to Spicer. She tries one from 8, no good, short. Rebound to Bergin. She breaks it home for Jodi Olson. She drives the lane, runs over a Wolverine. Blocking foul, Olson scores. Nice play there by Jodi Olson. Will the basket count? It should, but will it? Basket, no. No basket. Well, I don't think that's a good call. I think that was a sane motion. They take the points off the board, give the ball to the Gophers. Jodi Olson for 3, yes. From the far baseline. It's about time.
Yes, yeah.
Give her the ball and let her fire.
She needs to do that. When she hits her first one, she knows it and she feels it the rest of the game.
And a timeout called by the Wolverines. The score, Michigan 50. The Gophers 36, 14 minutes left. And we'll have more coming up next on the original 1280 WWTC. 50-36, the Wolverines lead the Golden Gophers. Rieger will throw the ball in for Michigan on the far side. On the near side now, Spicer. Standing at the arc, all the way across. Zowski goes around Jodi Olson, tries one from 10 and scores. Boy, she is a good player. She's quick, she's a good shooter, she plays good defense. Here's Jodi Olson for the Gophers now, inside to KRAMER. Out top, Goulet from 15, and she scores. Jackie Goulet.
Nice play by the Gophers, and that's what they need to do. They throw the ball in, throw it right back out. It's an easy 10-foot, 15 uncontested shot.
Now on the near side, Powell. Moves toward the high post, bounces it in low baseline to Powell, back out top. Now Shazowski for Rieger. Runs over KRAMER, no call by the referee. Shazowski drives the hole off the glass and scores. Great body control there. And it's 54-38. Here's Jenny Zeller. On the near side, Goulet back to Zeller. Now for KRAMER, free throw line, driving the baseline. Runs into that big defensive line there for Michigan and back out top for Zeller. In for KRAMER. On the near side, off of Goulet's hands, it's loose. Shazowski tries to save, and she does as she stepped over the baseline or the sideline. They give her the ball. Now Powell driving in for the Wolverines, and she scores. Tanya Powell, and she has 9 points. It's a 56-38 Michigan lead. Jodi Olson, bounce pass in for KRAMER, turning at the baseline, tries to put it up, blocked again. Taken over by the Wolverines, pass ahead, Shazowski, she's going in, bounce pass on the right for Spicer, off the glass scoring. And the Wolverines now are starting to run away. It's 58-38, Holly Thompson off the bench for Minnesota. Spicer is down and hurt for the Wolverines underneath the Gopher basket. And she'll be attended to, I think, here by the Michigan coaching staff. Other scores around the Big Ten. At Iowa City, the Hawkeyes have beaten Michigan State by a score of 86-58. And games tonight, Northwestern at Ohio State, and Wisconsin plays at Indiana.
Northwestern, Ohio State will be a good game.
Yes,
Northwestern needs to win this one, and Ohio State has the potential to beat them.
I wonder who's going to win that Big Ten Conference race on a tiebreaker.
Oh.
Or if it even matters. Probably doesn't matter. They'll share the Big Ten Conference lead. They'll both go to the NCAA, and they'll both get high seeds, I'm sure, in the regional. Although the Big Ten still is not as respected in women's basketball, certainly, as it is on the men's side.
But they're making strides. When I was playing, it was the Big Ten champion was the only one that really went to the NCAA tournament. Now they're getting 3, 4, or 5 teams in there.
Yep. Here's Holly Thompson. I mean, you've got to think, if Michigan wins 19, they've got a shot to go. 5th place in the Big Ten. Here's Holly Thompson in the corner. Out top, Goulet. Goulet stops at the free throw line. Now left side, KRAMER. 58-38 lead for the Wolverines. Here's Jodi Olson driving over to the far side. Dumps it inside for KRAMER. Loses control of the basketball. Here comes Shazowski running the fast break. Bounce pass left. Powell back to Shazowski, up and off. She blew the shot. What a beautiful fast break to watch. And the Gophers will have the ball. And you just have that, when they come down 3-on-1 like that, Laura, they just have that poise, and they know what they're going to do with the basketball.
They know each other so well, and that comes with, there's 4 seniors out there right now, and they've played 4 years together, and they play well with one another, and that's why they are such a good team.
Here's Jodi Olson driving for Minnesota, right in and scores. Nice run inside by Jodi Olson. And Jodi now with 5 points, 58-40. Michigan on top by 18. Shazowski across the line, right side for Tempe Brown. Now all the way across near side, Shazowski tries one from 15, yes. .21 points now for Shazowski. Now here's Jodi Olson just inside the 3-point stripe from 14 feet, and she scores. Jodi Olson got a hot hand now for the Gophers.
Gophers' offense is looking good right now. They just need to stop. the Wolverines. The Wolverines come down and score every time. If they want to get back in this game, they got to put a little pressure, make some turnovers, cause some turnovers here.
Here's a long shot by Brown. It comes off. Rebound to the Gophers. Bergin ahead to Holly Thompson. Holly Thompson across midcourt into the front side. Now sets up shop at the arc. Comes to the high post. Inside for KRAMER. Turning from... And she didn't shoot. She went inside to Goulet, and she is bumped hard from behind. And that will be foul number 4 in Michigan here in the half. The Gophers will pass it in. Jennifer Hall will come back into the game, as will Stacy Carver. And Jodi Olson's going to go out along with Jackie Goulet. Stacy Carver will pass it in underneath the Michigan basket. Over for Holly Thompson. Now across near side, Stacy Carver. Carver working out top, Holly Thompson. Back inside, KRAMER. Fouled as she went up for the shot by Andrew. And she'll go to the free throw line with the Gophers trailing by 18. 11:05 left to play here, second half.
Good move by Ellen. Had her defense turned, faked inside, went baseline, and defense got caught off guard, and she fouled her.
So Ellen KRAMER will go to the line for the Golden Gophers. She is just 1 for 3 from the line this afternoon. Make that 2 for 4 as she makes free throw number 1. 60-43. And the second free throw is also good. So Ellen cuts the lead now to 16. And the Wolverines will bring it up with Leah Woolridge. Across the line to Brown. Now back over to Woolridge. Brown, free throw line, shot up, good. Boy, when Brown shoots the ball, she doesn't waste much air. She just fires it right through there without any arc, and now the pass goes through Stacy Carver's hands from Holly Thompson, and Michigan will have the ball leading by 18.
The Gophers just have no sink right now. It's like a pass like that, an easy pass. There was no really any contestant there to even disrupt that pass, and it goes out of bounds. They need to work with one another a little bit better.
Here's Brown now for Michigan, backing off. Bounce pass for Woolridge, tries to go around KRAMER, dishes it off right side, Powell. Back up top to Woolridge. Now bouncing it in to Rieger, to Andrew from 18, no. Rebound comes loose, Carver has it for the Gophers. Ahead to Holly Thompson. Across center court, right side Hall. At the arc, now for Bergin in the lane, goes in, shoots. Blocked, out of bounds by Rieger. And it will belong to the Golden Gophers. 10 minutes remaining. Gophers trail 62-44. Glad you're with us on this Saturday afternoon. Don't forget, tonight we'll have hockey tournament coverage for you. 6:55 our airtime. 7:30 they drop the puck. Inside now is Lea Bergin turning off the front of the rim. Hauled down by Rieger. And here come the Wolverines with Tempe Brown. To the top of the key. Left side Woolridge. Now in the middle to Powell. Powell driving. Stops. Out top again to Tempe Brown. Now here's Woolridge for 3. No good. Rebound Carver. Carver all the way down the far side to Jennifer Hall. Hall, a high pass for KRAMER. She hauls it down underneath and is fouled as she went up for the shot. And if that goes against Rieger, that's going to be number 4. See who the foul's on. It is against Rieger.
They'll help the Gophers out a little bit here. Maybe they can get some rebounding started, get their defensive rebounds, get some fast breaks going here.
Yeah, but that's like cutting out one tree in the woods, though. They've got so many players that can come in there. And I'm impressed with this Michigan team, Laura. This is one of the better teams we've seen. Here's KRAMER's free throw, good.
They're not an exciting team, but they're so sound. It must have been a battle between them and Northwestern when they played, because both teams play the same style. Just big, slow it down, run their offense, and not make a lot of mental errors.
62-45. KRAMER will try to cut it back down to 16 and does. Ellen KRAMER. "15 points for Ellen so far. Here's Tempe Brown across center court. No, not yet. She has to go back across to Woolridge, and she finally brings it across near side. Nearly stolen by Jennifer Hall as she went diving and swats it out of bounds, and it will belong to the Michigan Wolverines with 9:30 remaining here in the second half. Now out top, here's Woolridge. Left side. In the corner to Duran. Now Woolridge. Over on the far side, Spicer. Back out top, Woolridge. Now she'll dribble off to her left. 2 seconds on the clock. They aren't going to shoot it in time. They didn't look at the clock. You know, it's interesting because they haven't had to use the clock very often, and they forgot it was there that time.
They had a little problem getting the ball up the court, and they didn't realize how much time had expired then, and the Gophers played a great 2-on-2 defensive zone there, and they just didn't get a shot off. Good defense.
So the Gophers have a chance to cut it down further. Here's KRAMER going in. She's fouled by Andrew, and I think that's going to be foul number 3 on Andrew. And KRAMER back to the line for the Gophers with a chance to get within 14.
That Andrews just looks so big from up here, doesn't she?
I know, she's huge. She's 6'2", it says here, but
she looks a lot taller, yeah. Well, this has been a little spurt for the Gophers. If they can keep it up, keep their 2-on-2 zone defense, make the Wolverines shoot from outside, and keep the ball out of the big girls' hands. This will give them a plus here.
That's right. Free throw is good by KRAMER. Out goes Andrew and Duran. Checking back in with more size is Val Hall. And Rieger's in now with 4 fouls for the Michigan Wolverines. So maybe
1'6'3" girl goes out, 1'5'4" girl goes out, and 2'6'4" girls come in.
This is tough.
Wow.
Another free throw good, and it's now a 62-48 game. But that depth, again, you know, we've talked about it. The Gophers don't have it. Other teams they play do, and it seems to, you know, come back to haunt you every time because these other teams could throw 2 good units at you, and the Gophers can't.
The Gophers have a very weak bench right now, and that's what's hurt them all the way down. Yes, they're a young team. They have a lot of inexperience, a lot of injuries. A couple freshmen weren't playing this year.
Here's Val Powell now for Michigan. Out top to Shazowski. Into Rieger. Runs up against KRAMER, but scores over the top of KRAMER, and that's exactly what we were talking about. And Rieger's going to have to be careful inside because one more and she's out. Here's Holly Thompson.
They need to feed it into Lea because that's who Rieger's guarding right now, and you got to get the ball to her and try to make Rieger foul.
And Bergin is fouled from behind by Rieger, and she is out of the basketball game. Bergin took it right out of her hands. Rieger tried to reach out behind, and that will do it for Joan Rieger.
I'm sure the coach is contemplating whether that was a smart move to put her back in so early. It's great for the Gophers.
She has 12 as she leaves the floor, and Gophers now still within 16 points. 2 free throw here's by Lea Bergin, and they're still within 14 with plenty of time left, 8:22 on the clock. Lea Bergin to the line for the Gophers. The senior from Minneapolis, Minnesota. She went to South, and now checking back in is Andrew, who is also experiencing foul trouble here in this ball game. Lea Bergin waiting the referees okay to start shooting field goals. Laura Kunin's going to give me the best tickets to every single event at the U.S. Olympic Festival. I want to see figure skating. I want to see gymnastics, okay?
And team handball.
And, oh, absolutely. I almost forgot.
Team handball is almost sold out.
Is it really?
Yeah, so you better get in there and get those tickets.
It is not. Lea Bergin misses the free throw, but underneath KRAMER is fouled, and KRAMER will go to the line. When are you going to do your Timberwolves exhibition of handball at a Timberwolf game?
March 28th, Timberwolf halftime.
I'm going to be there.
All right, it's going to be fun. People are going to realize what team handball is, and they're going to be excited.
KRAMER's free throw no good. The Gophers need to make these. They tend to get back in this game. Many people, you don't realize what we're talking about. Laura is a former Olympic athlete in team handball with the U.S. team and contemplating a return there, and she will be leading an exhibition at the Timberwolves game on March 28th to let us know about the sport. Flying in former Olympic players, right?
Yes.
64-49, stolen away by Bergin. Race for the ball, front court. Foul on Shazowski. And I'll tell you what, Laura, the Gophers are putting on a bit of a run here. They've got Michigan a little bit shook up, and if the Gophers can keep this up, they can crawl back into the game.
They can. Wolverines' big girl just went out there. Actually, she was their strength right there. 25 has 3 fouls.
That's Andrew.
Yeah, Hall has 3 fouls. These guys are, look at the coach is worried too with the timeout.
And Shazowski, their playmaker, their quarterback now has 4 fouls.
They have depth, but it's not going to be that much depth that they can really take over a total 8 minutes in the final game. So the Gophers just need a big spurt right now. They're getting it. They're making the Wolverines think a little harder and causing them to make turnovers.
Don't forget, tonight, Tom Reed and I will be back at the St. Paul Civic Center. 6:55 our airtime, 7:30 the puck drops for the championship of the State High School Hockey Tournament. Roseau and Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids has survived 2 overtime games in the tournament. Roseau has demolished White Bear Lake and Minnetonka, 2 very, very good Metro teams. It should be a heck of a matchup. We look forward to seeing you there. Then on Monday, or Sunday rather, we'll be on the air at 1:45 p.m. as the Golden Gopher hockey team battles North Dakota in the first game of the WCHA Final Four. At 7 o'clock, it's Wisconsin and Northern Michigan, and then the 3rd place game on Monday, the championship on Monday night. 3 more days of hockey coming up, including this evening, and this should be a wonderful game tonight and super hockey at the WCHA Final Four.
There sure is nothing like Minnesota high school hockey.
It's been great. And it's been a really good tournament. Most of the games have been very close ones, except for the games Roseau's played. They've been the dominant team thus far in the tournament. Okay, to the line goes Lea Bergin. If the Gophers are to crawl back in here, they've got to make their free throws because they've been handed some and they still trail by 15. Here's Bergen's first try on the 1-and-1. No good. It rims away. The rebound loose, and KRAMER has it. Bergen's missed 2 free throws in a row, but the Gophers have the basketball. Holly Thompson over on the left side. Jennifer Hall driving the baseline in for KRAMER off the glass, and good. And there's the loss of the big one inside as KRAMER was able to sneak inside and put it up and in. It's a lot different having 1 big player in there than having 2 or 3. Val Hall's their only dominant inside player as Powell throws it away. And that's a loss of Shazowski already being felt for them, Laura, has she had to sit down with 4 fouls. Gophers trail.
She was their ball handler, their little key there on the top there, and that's going to hurt them. They're going to cause the turnovers that they made easy layups in the beginning of the game, and now they're causing turnovers.
Gophers trail by 13, but battling back. Here's Jennifer Hall. Gophers have to make no mistakes and shoot the ball, take good shots. Carver back out top to Holly Thompson. Back to Stacy Carver, picks it up off the floor. Left side for Hall, avoids 1. Going in at the baseline, puts it up and off. Rebound though to Bergin, up and in. This game is changing inside. The Gophers are starting to have their way a bit more inside now as Michigan hurt by fouls. It'll be interesting to see how long Coach Bud Vandeweghe can keep Andrew out of the game. Now in the front court comes Michigan. Woolridge.
Gophers just can't get too excited right now on defense, and they should just sit back a little and not go for that steal on their defense right here.
They trail by 11. 6:49 to play. Here's Duran missing. Rebound to Bergin, who's taking control inside for the Golden Gophers. And here comes Holly Thompson with a chance to cut the lead to 9. On the left for Jennifer Hall. Far side, Stacy Carver. In for Bergin. It was tipped by one of the Wolverines. It will still belong to Minnesota. Here's a good move now by Coach Fields, getting Jodi Olson back in there, and they're going to give Lea Bergin a rest. I think that LaRue right now feels that Sue Renner can really do some damage inside. Here's Jodi Olson for 3. Yes. From the high arc. She was 2 steps outside the line, and she buried it, and the Gophers trail now just by 8, 64-56. Boy, oh boy, if Jodi Olson can get hot, look out. We got a basketball game. Here's Duran to Woolridge on the far side. Tries to go around Olson. Now back up top Duran. A furious rally here by the Gophers. Woolridge now to Duran. Goes between. She traveled. Gophers basketball.
This is it. This is what the Gophers needed, and it's working at a great time. There's plenty of time on the clock right now. Wolverines can't afford to put Carol Shashinsky in right now, and so they're making a run for it. Ooh.
Here's KRAMER. Now on the near side, Holly Thompson at the arc. Gophers trail by just 8, 5:55 to play. Here's Jodi Olson. Can't get free for the shot, but goes inside the lane to Hall. Just throws one up. It was a bad shot, and Powell hauls down the rebound. I wish sometimes that Jodi Olson would shoot even with a player on her, because she's capable of still making those shots. She only seems to want to shoot the ball when she's absolutely isolated. Now right side, Duran into Powell. Runs up against Renner. Goes right around Sue and puts it in. Nice move by the forward Val Powell.
Gophers just went back when the Wolverines have time to set up. They should just drop back in a 2-1-2, and it was working just fine before, but they seem to be pressuring out too far, and it gives the Wolverines an easy layup, and they don't want that.
10-point lead for Michigan. Sue Renner's pass is batted out of bounds. Vanderwege is going to, I'm sure, not wait a whole lot longer to get his star players back in there. Here's Renner inside now to Hall. A foul committed by the Wolverines. And that will be a free throw chance here for Jennifer Hall with the Gophers down by 10. I would think about one more minute we'll see the return of Shazowski and of Andrew, because he doesn't want to let this thing get too close.
And that's 4 on Hall. So that's another big girl.
Boy, oh boy, they've really run into some hard times here. They've got 4 fouls on Hall, 4 on Shazowski. He's got to leave somebody in there. Here's Renner's free throw. Good. I like Sue's free throws. She doesn't exactly make it look pretty. She just rattles them home.
It throws the other team off too, so if she misses it, she's got a freebie there.
There you go. 66-57. The Gophers have battled back here, trailing by 1 point by 20. Now by 9. Sue misses the next free throw. Boy, the Gophers have missed a lot from the line tonight. They could be much closer than they are, but still trail by 9. Now Duran over the line to Powell, outside Woolrich.
Gophers right now need to fall back in their zone and make the Wolverines shoot it from the outside, because they don't have any of their threats in there right now.
That's right, 12 on the clock. Duran moving to the baseline, 8 on the clock. She's in trouble. Outside it comes Woolrich, 5 on the clock. Hall puts it up and banks it off the glass. That was a lucky shot.
She just wailed it up there.
She really did, and it rattled home off the glass. 11-point lead for the Wolverines. Now Jodi Olson inside for Kramer, turning from 5 and hits it. Ellen Kramer's playing very well here in the second half, and LaRue Field wants to talk it over with the Gophers trailing 68-59. And we'll see what the Michigan bench decides to do here and who they send out. Reminder, the last game of the season for the Golden Gophers here this afternoon. The seniors that are playing their last game: Lea Bergin, Juanita Boehland, Jackie Goulet, Jennifer Hall, Jodi Olson, and Sue Renner. And we certainly salute all of those players. You know, it's what a lot of people don't realize is, even if you're not a player who plays all the time, like say Juanita Boehland, the effort you put in every day at practice, the time it takes, the sacrifice to be a student athlete is worth applause, because it's very, very difficult. And a lot of these kids in a lot of different sports sit on the bench, go to practice every day, work hard in practice, cheerlead from the bench. You know, of course they wish they could play more, but they're content with their role and they do the best they can.
That is so true too, Paul. A lot of people don't realize that this is like a full-time job for these athletes. They go to work out 3-4 hours a day plus school, where, you know, a lot of people think that, oh, the athletes have it so easy, but they don't. They're out here working 3-4 hours a day. By the time they get home, it's like a job is what it is. And everyone on the team, whether they play the 40 minutes or not, is doing the same thing. They're cheering the team on just as much as the starters would be.
Gophers trail by 9, 68-59. Michigan in trouble. The Gophers trapping him. Here's Val Hall. Has to stop when she sees Sue Renner. Now to Powell. They threw it over and back. Ball will go to Minnesota. And the Wolverines are coming unglued a bit here now, right in front of her eyes, Laura. They played so well for about 2/3 of this game, but it's been all Gophers for the past 5 minutes.
Gophers are doing well. They're taking advantage of the Wolverines playmaker being out of the game, and they're using it to their advantage.
Kramer is fouled by Powell. And Kramer will go to the line with a chance to cut it to 7. And still, Shazowski is back in the ballgame now for Michigan. So is Hall. Both players have 4 fouls. Now Kramer to the line for the Gophers. Free throw good.
I'm sure the coach told Shazowski to just go in there and get the ball up the court, make good passes, but don't be dumb on defense. If it's worth a basket, let them go in.
Second free throw also good. 25 points for Hall, or for Kramer. 68-61. Gophers pressing. Shazowski has it bounce off her foot. She picks it up. In trouble. Holly Thompson bothering her. Gets it across. 21 on the clock. Here's Duran. Back out top to Shazowski. 3:54 left in the basketball game. 12 on the shot clock. Here's Powell for Spicer. 8 on the clock. Out top for Duran. 6 on the clock. Spicer for 3. Yes, but it's just 2. She stepped across the line. And it's a 70-61 lead. Now here's Jodi Olson for 3 for the Gophers. That one's just short. The rebound fought for underneath. It comes to Renner, up and off. Rebound to KRAMER at the baseline. Does a smart thing back out top to Thompson. Over for Hall from 15, no good. Rebound to Hall. Gophers had some chances there, and the lead stays at 9 with 3:16 to play. Here's Shazowski. Boy, they're a different team when she's in there. Over for Duran. Driving the baseline, runs up against Renner. Now all the way up top to Shazowski. Smart pass over to Powell. Now back to Shazowski up top. All the way to the corner to Duran. She misses. Rebound to Renner. And here comes KRAMER on the break. Oh my, she nearly traveled as she tried to control that ball. I think she did travel, but the referee was running in front of her, trying to get in position, didn't see it. Here's Hall now, driving the baseline, tried to put it up and underneath. A bad shot, but Renner gets it and hits it. Sue Renner. They give you heart attacks, don't they, Laura? We're going to get a technical foul because somebody threw a, I hope they don't call it technical because somebody threw a piece of toilet paper out in there. They shouldn't give a team a technical late in the game for that, should they?
No, that's...
I think a youngster may have thrown that on the floor. They are going to give a technical foul. They can't give a technical for one fan threw one piece of a roll of toilet paper out there, and that may kill the Gophers' chances to come back. Free throw good by Shazowski. She'll get another one. Too bad.
Who did that?
I didn't see where it came from. Did you?
Just the midsection there. Oh, no.
And the second free throw was also good, and now Michigan will get the ball with a 9-point lead. Too bad that had to happen.
Oh, the Gophers, so hopefully they can keep this run up right now. The Wolverines are playing with a lot more confidence now that Shazowski is in here, though.
Yeah, 25 points she has. Playing with 4 fouls, though. Some Gopher needs to take a dive and see if they can get her out of the game. You never know. These officials have been inconsistent. Here's Spicer from 17, no good. Rebound to Jodi Olson. She's bumped from behind, it's still loose. Spicer has it for the Wolverines, a new shot clock. Time definitely against the Gophers now with 2:14 left. That technical foul really hurts right now. Hall banks it off the glass, scores, and is fouled. That may be the end of the Gophers' run.
They need to hope that Shazowski gets fouled. She gets another foul here. They need to work her on defense. When the Gophers have the ball on offense, they're going to have to get the ball. If she's guarding Holly, they got to get the ball to Holly, and Holly's got to drive and see if she can cause a foul there.
Hall free throw, no good. Rebound comes down to the Gophers, Goulet. And the Gophers still have life, trailing by 11. KRAMER misses, rebound underneath. Holly Thompson puts it up, blocked by Val Hall. Nice play. And the Wolverines have the ball, an 11-point lead, 1:51 in the clock. The Gophers have to start fouling. Here's Shazowski in the back court. Comes up to the line. All the way across to Spicer. 15 on the clock. Out top, Powell. Powell, bothered by Jodi Olson, to Shazowski, 10 on the clock. Over in the corner, bad pass. The Gophers are going to get it back, but they've got to start doing something with their possessions. And off the bench comes Lea Bergin. Here's Holly Thompson now for the Gophers into the front court. Bounce pass in for KRAMER, turning inside, puts it up off the front of the rim. Rebound, Wolverines have it. Shazowski on the break. Moving in, off and in. Shazowski, who has made a difference since coming back in there with 27 points now, and it's a 77-63 lead. As timeout called by LaRue Fields with just 1:10 remaining, and Michigan has now withstood the Gopher run, Laura, and they were going to win the game. And I tell you, that technical foul really took the wind out of the Gopher sails. And I don't know if that's an automatic technical or if an official in that situation could overlook something like that. I'm not sure how the rule book reads.
I think in that situation, he could overlook that. I mean, I could see the beginning game where everybody did it. That's a fan thing, but this is...
It didn't have any effect on the game at all.
Who's to say that it wasn't a Michigan person that really threw that out? But if it might be a standard rule, like you said, that they have to call it technical, but it just killed the Gophers right now. And if it was a Minnesota fan throwing that out, I don't know what they were thinking, because...
Well, it might have been just a youngster that got carried away down there.
Oh, no.
But you'd think if the referee can overlook that, it had no effect on the play whatsoever. And it really did take the wind out of the Gopher sails. And Michigan now leads 76-63, a 13-point lead with 1:10 remaining. And this game is pretty much history right now. But a valiant effort for the Gophers. They trailed by 20, cut it down to 7. But were unable to get any closer than that. Don't forget to stay tuned for our Gopher women's basketball post-game report immediately following the conclusion of the game. We'll talk with one of the Gopher stars. Goulet into Jodi Olson. Top of the key, Hall. Not much time to work on offense here. They'll try to isolate Jodi. She takes the 3, misses. Rebound underneath to Renner, up and in. 76-65, timeout by LaRue. Renner's had a good game.
She's played well Thursday and she's played well tonight.
17 points for Sue.
That's what they need, though. They need her to have good games, especially when you're playing against towers like Michigan has here. But the Gophers still, the problem that's hurting them and has hurt them all year is they have no outside shooting. Now they're going to Jodi Olson. She's the only one who can shoot the three-pointer. The other teams know she's the only one on a three-pointer, so they're doing everything they can to get all over her. And they should have started a little earlier, have Jodi firing a little earlier so it spread out the defense a little bit. But hindsight is
2020.
Yeah.
76-65. The Wolverines lead it, 57 seconds left. The Gophers are going to have to start fouling. The problem here is that the Gophers only have 4 team personals, so a foul just gives the Michigan the ball back. They're going to have to foul 3 times just to get into bonus and send Michigan to the line. Underneath is Tempe Brown, off on the right side for Powell. Powell finds Shazowski. They've got a 3-and-1 break. Renner back over on the right side for Spicer and off the glass and good. 78-65, 45 seconds left. Here's Jodi Olson all the way across to Jennifer Hall, driving the baseline up from 8, bounces in. So Jennifer scores. And it's a 78-67 lead, and Michigan easily breaks the press. Shazowski to Spicer. Jennifer Hall is hurt as Hall makes the layup. And Jennifer Hall lays underneath the Michigan basket. And out to assist her, our coach LaRue Fields, trainer Lea, or one of the trainers is down there anyway.
I didn't see what happened.
I didn't see what happened either. I'm not sure. She
was trapping. They were trapping that girl, and the next thing we know, she's on the floor, and then they're down on a fast break. It sounds terrible, but you can't, if the other team is in motion on a fast break.
Oh, it was a good non-call.
Yeah, you can't stop the call.
Just 25 seconds remain, a 13-point lead for the Wolverines. They will win, and they probably will at least be considered for an NCAA bid. Jennifer limping off, and not the way she wanted to leave, I don't think, Laura, as their last game as a Golden Gopher.
No, that...
I think now would be a good time for LaRue to begin ceremoniously pulling out her seniors here. The game is over.
Yes.
Let's give them their last
just give them a
hurrah.
round of, yes, definitely.
And she's got all the seniors in the game right now. I believe they're all in there.
Yes. Except for Jennifer's the only one right now.
Here's Jodi Olson, picks the ball up as it comes across midcourt. Bounce pass in for Renner from the free throw line, off the glass, no good. Rebound on the near side to Juanita Boehland. She puts it up and off and in. Baked it high off the glass, and
that was a good shot by Juanita. She hasn't seen a lot of action this year or a lot of points, and it's a good way to end, even though the score is 69-80.
Well, 11-point lead. LaRue calls another timeout. 80-69 is the score. Well, looking forward to a good hockey game tonight. I've got to go over to the Radisson, Lauren, for a WCHA Final Four press conference, then over to the Civic Center for some more hockey tonight. And this town is unbelievably hockey crazy. It's hard to believe we might lose our NHL team.
I know. That's what kills, I think, a lot of the people around here, thinking that it's the strongest college hockey up here. It's the high school, definitely by far, of any state. And then they want to get rid of the NHL team.
Long pass. The Spicer has it from Michigan, driving in, up and off. Rebound to Renner. Over on the far side, Jodi Olson. Jodi takes it to the far baseline, puts it up and off. Rebound in the hands of Michigan's Tempe Brown. The buzzer sounds, the game is over. And the Wolverines win it by a score of 80-69. LaRue Fields is finished as the Gopher basketball coach. She's coached her last game here at the University of Minnesota. She shakes hands with the Michigan coaching staff as the players go through the handshakes too at center court. Stay tuned now for our Gopher women's basketball post-game report coming up next on the original 1280 WWTC. Okay, thank you very much, Brian Turner, and welcome back here to Williams Arena. Lots of hugs and so on in the Gopher, I think a few tears down there in the Gopher huddle across the far side. Jackie Goulet over on her way to talk with us. Jackie, a senior. Or is it Ellen KRAMER? Ellen KRAMER, who had a real good game tonight, Laura, for the Golden Gophers.
She did. She played very well. She rebounded well. She hustled well. She had an overall very good game.
I have her at 25 points unofficially. As LaRue Fields, a plaque now from Chris Voelz in the middle of the court, honoring the coach on her last game, dozen roses. And it's got to be difficult, Laura. A tough season for her. I'm sure she wanted to go out with at least, you know, a season that she could be proud of, and just hasn't worked out well for her. And it's a tough way to go as Ellen KRAMER makes her way down here. Let's take a 30-second timeout on the original 1280 WWTC. And we are back live here at Williams Arena. Ellen KRAMER, I won't keep you very long because of what's happening on the court right now. I'm sure you'd rather be down there, but tell us about your views on the whole season overall.
Well, I guess it's been kind of a disappointing season for myself as well as I'm sure the rest of the team, but you know, we never gave up, and our record really doesn't say what we've been through. You know, we've worked real hard, and you know, records aren't always what they seem to be, because we had a lot of close games that could have went either way. And you know, I guess the underclassmen and myself were just looking forward to next year and hoping to build something a little better than this year. 25 points tonight by my unofficial count. Nice game for yourself. Thanks. I tried to really take it inside. I felt I was a bit smaller than those big girls inside, and coach was just saying take it inside. I'm sure a lot of my points came from the free throw line. Okay, Jennifer, go downstairs and enjoy this moment with your teammates, okay? Okay, thanks for coming up. Thank you. Jennifer Ellen KRAMER had a big game tonight for the Golden Gophers, but the Gophers lose it by a score of 80-69. We'll be back and wrap things up from Williams Arena in 2 minutes right here on the original 1280 WWTC. LaRue Fields receiving a steady line of hugs and gifts down there right now on the floor as she wipes away the tears. And I'm sure for her a very emotional moment, because really the only career and the only lifestyle she's ever known, Laura, that of basketball, is all of a sudden here abruptly come to an end. And these coaches, you know, they live and breathe basketball all season long, and then of course in the off season, normally right now she'd be concerned about recruiting, and next week sometime she'll probably go in and clean out the office and it'll be all over.
She's thinking like this is it now. You know, she has the tears in her eyes and that, and all the hugs and that. And you're right, she's approaching a new life now. Coaching is a lot different than anything else here, and she'll realize it. I think she'll miss it a lot after a while. After about a year or so, she'll realize she misses it. Because on the other hand, she might say, "Boy, did I make a good move." No, I think she'll miss it. I'm sure she'll miss the camaraderie of the team, and the team, how the team concept is, how everybody gets along and works well together. Well, Laura, this has been a lot of fun. I'm sorry to see our broadcast tenure here come to an end, at least for this season. I hope that things work out next year where we have a chance to do this again. This has been a lot of fun, and I'm gonna make sure I keep in contact with you, and good luck with the Olympic Festival coming up this summer. Thanks, Paul. I had a great time. I've enjoyed working this. This was my first time. I really did enjoy it. I had fun watching the Gophers here with you, and I do hope I get to do this with you again next year. Okay, and thanks again to all the folks from the university, Karen Smith and Angie Haltman,
the athletic director, Chris Voelz, associate director, Donna Olson, and of course, LaRue Fields and all of her staff and players for a great season. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget, hockey on the way tonight, 6:55 for the airtime, and 7:30 we drop the puck. We'll see you then, and good afternoon from Williams Arena.
Very fun last game for the senior year. Wasn't a win, but it was a fun game. I saw a lot of intensity. Excuse me, I'm in an interview. Okay. Serious. You know, it was like Jen was flying around on the floor, just like it sums up the whole 4 years. Ellen's shooting from every direction. I loved it. You know, Jen's flying across the floor. Sue Renner's knocking everyone.
Are you a candidate for the new coach? Well, for 2 out of the 3, it's all over but the shout, right? Even the shout is 9 minutes.
That's right.
So, Ellen, since you were recruited or became the same year as seniors, what's it going to be like next year without them around?
Horrible. At first, but I'll get over it. No, I'm really going to miss them just because they're like a family, and you know, I think about it and I think I'm going to be really sad. Like, I think I'm just thinking I'm losing my friends, but I know they're going to be around, and you know, next year I'm sure we're going to get 6 more people, and maybe they'll be a heck of a lot better than those 6 that left. Maybe we'll be in the top 20 next year, and these guys will be saying, dang.
That's the way, I mean, she summed up there.
Basically summed it all up.
She'll pay for that comment later.
Probably shunned.
I mean, it hasn't been the ultimate show that you wanted when you came here, right? I mean, but was it worth it, the investment?
Definitely. No doubt. Win or lose, I would not trade the experience with anyone for anything. No doubt.
Even though our record wasn't the best all 4 years, I think our memories are the best, and we'll keep those with us the rest of our lives.
What made it special? What was cool about it?
The people. The people I've met through this program. The home girls and the friends that we've made.
The clique. Our own little clique.
What was Fields telling you right after the game we all got together after she got the
she said she wants us to go on to be strong, and don't ever let anyone get in our way and stop us from doing what we want to do, and she's always going to be with us. Sue Renner, number 55, is entering the room. Wait a minute, I don't recall getting any of those things. I recall it, friends.
Everybody in Grand Rapids wants to know, where are your guys going to beat Roseau tonight?
Yes, they are. We're going to be hockey champs.
When Lucian may talk to Richard Coffey or Billy Burton, they all say, well, the NBA is next. Undoubtedly, it's not a WNBA, but what is next for you?
For me, I will graduate in the spring. Get a career. I'll be a rich woman, so if you guys need any help, I might be able to hook you guys up. No, that's all. I'm just looking for a career.
What are you going to be a rich woman in?
She's taking over for Connie Chung. No. I'll probably marry someone in the NBA. Oh, you just hook up with Willie now.
This is not Mr. Stanson.
What's next for you, Jen?
Well, I have another year of school left, so I can come back to all the games next year and yell at Ellen a lot. And then I plan
Grad assistant.
That's right. And then I plan to pursue a career in coaching.
Do you want to get into education like your parents?
No.
Principal.
You're not going to be a principal? No.
She's going to be
My brother is following in my dad's footsteps, so I took the pressure off me.
He is? He's going to be principal?
I mean, if you're going to coach, you're going to have to probably be a teacher. Right?
No, I want to be a college coach.
What kind of influence has Fields had on you?
A great influence. She's taught me a lot about, I think that she's probably the same type of coach I would be in the way that she's very emotional, very intense, and that's the way I am too.
You feel kind of disappointed you didn't reach the goal you guys set after she announced her resignation for the sixth finish?
I think a lot of stuff about the season has been disappointing because we know that we're better than we've showed and what our record shows, but you know, I guess you can't say if this or if that because it's over, but if it was good. Exactly.
Susie, what are you going to do?
I have another year of school. I'll graduate a year from the spring. Then go find a job and be like everyone else, I guess.
You can come work for me.
Okay, thanks.
So you guys sit by me next to the games when we harass Alex?
Yes, harass her quite loudly. Come to practices and watch them run.
What are they going to have to do to win 20 games here?
They got a lot of nice people returning. They're going to have to work, you know, all summer, all the underclassmen, but they will because they all have a real good work ethic installed right now. So I don't know. I think they'll come back all right.
If you were on the search committee for a new coach, what would you look
I'm not sure.
I think it would be kind of hard to pick a coach from meeting someone at an interview or a table because it's, I mean, you kind of need to see them in action and see, maybe know someone that's been a part of their program or, you know, because, I mean, I know Coach Fields is a totally different person when you sit and talk to her compared to when she's on the court, which is, I mean, is, all coaches are. So, you know.
They won Coach's Award?
Well, if you have to put a
still have to run laps.
computer, pull out the perfect coach, what type of coach you would like to see? If you could do something like that. Or who you suggest, if you're not going to be here, who you suggest well,
What do you think, Will?
Well, I think that right now we need the type of coach that we don't have a lot of All-Americans on this team. We need the type of coach that's able to work with the talent that we do have and be able to make that talent work by a lot of execution and
fundamentals.
Are you describing Bill Musselman?
Is he a candidate? Do you think he'd take that promotion if you got it?
Yeah, keep going. Keep asking me.
Any of you guys ever shave Gwen's hair?
That is that question. Yeah, I know I miss a lot, but yeah, not exactly why.
Since you won more women last year, do you think you're a much improved team since last year? How would you compare last year to this year?
I think every year, the win-loss record sometimes really doesn't say what actually, I think if we would have won no games this year and played how we played, but the score just came up, I still say we were a much better team than last year. And, I think that happens, well, maybe not every year. Next year, it might be, a little more, a lot of young people coming in and stuff, so. But, I think every year it's better.
Yeah, individually, there's a lot of changes in all of us, and some of it is just stuff you see in practice, half turns and stuff that you just do in practice constantly that one year you always mess up and the next year you're not doing it anymore. So there's individually there's a lot of positive changes from one year to the next.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for.
This is not what you want to see where you walk out of your career.
Well,
there have to be some good things you have to see from today's game.
oh, you know, we saw a lot of good things, and we saw them work real hard. We saw their play. One thing, they didn't fall apart. They came back. They did a great job with that. They could have played better in spots, and you know, we had low turnovers. We just couldn't get in the flow. Sometimes emotion plays a part where it hurts you more so than helping you. And I just think that there was a lot on everybody's mind, trying to balance out 6 seniors, you know, and win the ball game and get everybody in there. That's kind of hard. Make sure everybody play, and you know, and yet give everybody the minutes, and then think of everything that's going on. It was a tough game. This team was so quick. They have good athletes, and they're not fancy. They're not, you know, they don't do a whole lot of exceptional things. They just have some good athletes that run and do a lot of different things. So.
You know, a lot of tall people. Tall people.
Yeah, they had very agile. Even the big players were pretty agile, and they worked real hard. You know, I hope they get their bids to the NCAAs or either the NIT. See, they were shooting for something too. It's kind of hard when you're not shooting for anything as much.
So you can try to cram everything into one night tonight. You're going to go to the movie.
No, I have been going to the movies, you know, because I'm not as actively involved with the recruiting. So I've already seen Stella, Drive, Miss Daisy, and Glory. So I'm already caught up almost. So there's new ones came out in the last couple weeks that I haven't seen. But no, I'm just going to kind of take it easy. I've on purposely, I think, not really thought of this game until a little while ago, that this is my last game. Just focusing more on finishing the game and winning the game and being there for the players. And I think at the end of the game, it kind of hit me, you know, that this is it. But I feel good about it because now it's time to go to the next challenge. So I wanted to make sure that I got my grieving in and I got my tears out, and then tomorrow I'll get up and get to the next level of my life. At least starting, you know, I got a long way to go. I got some phone calls, maybe I have some commitments to the U and some other things. But.
What did you tell the girls after the game?
Well, what I said to the ladies, let's just, you know, thank you. Thank you for a good time. We've had a good time with each other. Nobody can take away our memories, our fun, our laughter, our you know, the things we've done together, whether it was good, bad, or ugly. You know, we had it together, and we'll always be together. They're always going to be special to me, like I hope I am to them. So hang in there, and let's keep in touch with one another. Let's let nothing come between us, particularly time and space.
Is there an absolute guarantee that you will not coach again?
Oh no, unless I get out in this workforce and find that there's some things I like, then I go after it. I think there's a great possibility that I won't coach again. I think it's real good right now that I will never go back to coaching. I'm not even leaning toward. I mean, I could never say never. You know, they tell you never say never. But if I had to pick a choice, if I had to say anything, Charlie, I would say I'm 80% sure I'll never coach again. That's how much.
Not even your daughter's team youth basketball.
Oh no, not even my sons. If I ever get to that far. First, let me get to that point. Yeah, I got close. I had a fella bring me some roses today, so that's the closest I've got. So I may work on that later on too. But no, I just think that, you know, maybe volunteer, or I thought of maybe doing something with the Courage Center or wheelchair or something that I give my heart to, you know, and that people need me, and that's what I kind of want to do. Not saying I thought these players needed me, you know, during that time. I mean, I know during that time, the transition. See, there was a reason that we all got together, me and my team. There was a reason I was supposed to have been here. I couldn't figure it out at first. I kept thinking every day of practice, there's Minnesota on these players' shirts. There was something I was to learn. There was something they were to learn, and we've learned that, and it's time to get to the next level. And we both gained from it. Like I told them in the locker room, realistically, Division I, we haven't won a lot of games. We measure success by a lot of different things, but we've had a great time. I don't know if you've understood that. What it means is that this is like a ride that is fun. It's stressful and it's hard, but it was fun to get to this point. And now, you know, we've enjoyed it, and we want to move on for the next person and the next person to do what they have to do. That's why I feel I'm not running from the University of Minnesota. I'm walking away with my head up, with my pride intact, And then I hope to make it easier for the next coach because I want the program to be successful. I want it to work. I think it can get there. You know, I know it can, and I'm going to do whatever I can to support the women's athletic and the women's basketball program.
Who do they have to hire to be successful?
See, I can't determine that. You ask a lot of questions that are hypothetical. There are a lot of things that this program needs. Somebody with energy, it could be a lot of things. They need a recruiter, but they need somebody that's experienced in X's and O's. But the key is there are a lot of coaches out there that are qualified as whether they want to take the chance. So it's not a clone. It's not a stereotypic thing that you say, well, put this all in one. It's not that. It's whichever person best meets the needs. So she may be strong in this and weak in this, but if she can counterbalance that it all works and the personality fits into the Minnesota system and the Minnesota way, then it'll work. But I don't think it's not like a robot where you could put it together by putting it bits and pieces. So it's hard to say who and what, and it's a feeling, just like a young woman picking an institution. It's not just the program or the academics or this, it's all of it combined to get a feel of making that work. And it might take a couple of people, hopefully it won't, but you know, I don't know. I just feel that Chris is going to go out there with her skills and with her knowledge and contacts and the things that she's done to prepare, and I think this is going to be a big hire. I think this is an important hire, this next coach coming. My replacement.
Should a male coach be successful?
Oh, I don't think it has anything to do with sex. I just think that, or sexual, you know, what your gender is, I think is what the university needs. I think the women need women role models. I think they've enjoyed having women as coaches. And that's just my personal opinion. I think it's real important, just like I think black kids need to have black role models. And I think black young girls need to have black women role models. So you can't, again, you don't go with something that's made, you go with the person and what's inside of them. I hear the players and I say, what do you need? Yeah, you need somebody that's going to teach fundamentals, but you need a recruiter. You need somebody that understands the system. You need somebody that's academically oriented. You don't need anybody that's going to cheat or break the rules or try to skim through. You need somebody honest and loyal and just going to bust their butt. And who's that person? I don't know.
Do they need a 22-hour slave? They need a 22-hour-a-day slave that works 365 days a year. And then you can't guarantee it then either.
Well, I think that person's going to take a lot of energy. I think that there's a lot of energy that's going to be needed. I think the first couple of years, it is going to work overtime. That person will have to work a lot and hard. I know how hard I work. And I couldn't get it to where I wanted to go, but I know how hard I work. And I know what the sacrifices I've made. I'm just not ready to make any more. I love basketball and I love the game, but I'm going to start taking care of LaRue. And that's the bottom line. But that person coming in knowing what they're going to go through, knowing the situation, is willing to make that commitment, she'll do it. Because everybody has something they love. And there are a lot of people who love basketball. I love it. So they'll be willing to do it just like I did it. When I got in, it was rough. I mean, I had no, you see, I mean, to be successful was hard, but I mean, how many people really believed it? I mean, you know, they gave me support, but was it real? But it was hard when I took it. I had less than I have now. A lot less. That's why we didn't want to leave it like that. But I felt I did Minnesota fair, and I felt they did me fair. They gave me a great opportunity, and I've seen what goes on this level, and I think that I made a real good decision December 15th or January 15th or 16th or whatever that day was. I've never regretted, and I'll never look back. I've enjoyed being, I'm honored to be the head coach at the University of Minnesota. It wasn't just a job. To me, it was an honor.